really bothered me. I wanted to get to the bottom of some of that stuff last night, so I was able to talk to some of the University of Miami people a little bit about that. We'll get into all that, and the love affair with some guys moving up the board for who the Dolphins, who the national people think the Dolphins should take. We'll get into all that stuff. But this Vrabel thing, it is incredible. You know, we have a lot of things, and we always, something happens, and we'll kind of run with it for a day or two. This one, because it's kind of a Diana Rossini's been around. If you're in football, you know who she is, and very, very likable personality through the years, and you know she builds up relationships, and that's part of when you're at ESPN, you get that opportunity. Mike Vrabel's coach of the year. What he did with the Patriots, going back to the team he played for. You just put all that stuff together, and this story happens. And those three pictures, it's incredible, knowing they're both married. And then everybody had an opinion. And then as this thing went on, and she was, first it looked like her company's kind of backed her, that she works for, The Athletic. And then they just go, hey, but we need some more information on this. And she realized that there was no more information. It was kind of a cover-up for some of the stories they told. So this thing just kind of, now there's some follow-up stories that their hotel was 2 hours away from the NFL meetings. It was private. It was an adults-only hotel. I mean, some people really went out and did their homework on this thing. Somebody got those three pictures. It's incredible, the impact it's had. And I can't even imagine what it's like in personal lives for both of them. Listen, they did it to themselves. They're not exactly 20-year-old kids, right? I mean, we're talking about two grown-ass people with kids, married. And I get stuff happens, man. This is not like something new. People do this. I understand it. I'm not stupid. I've been through some of this stuff myself, so so I'm not a complete fraud here at 6:07 in the morning. But anyway, you know, it's just to hear it and how he handled it, and now everybody's trying to dissect how he handled it. Well, Dan Rossini's going, oh, you guys are reading in this, and Vrabel's going, well, you know, I had to have some conversations, and you know, I don't know how far you go on telling the truth when you sit down with the people you care about the most, starting again with the wife. Everything starts with the wife and then works down to your sons and daughters who are old enough to understand this whole thing. Cover up, and listen, whatever they were going to cover up, it didn't go well. It just didn't. I don't know how far it went, but they both know they went over the line, and the pictures did tell the truth for at least part of it. And again, I don't know if they got to the bedroom or not. And honestly, I really don't care at this point. But it's amazing how many people care. And now I got people saying, oh, you're going to pull a Vrabel, or, oh, my gosh, I think she's a Diana Rossini, and watch out, and all that stuff that kind of pops up. I will say one thing. Woody and I were just talking this morning, and I wanted to bring this up early in the morning. If you ever, for some of you, I've been in some dysfunctional relationships, and a lot of it was me. I'm not saying I'm not like blaming other people. If you've listened to me, you understand that I don't give myself a hall pass on things. I've been counseled up here on some of that stuff, so don't worry about that. But if you ever get in a situation out there where things don't seem like they're right, and you hire a private investigator, even if the private investigator comes back and says I didn't see anything, and you know, she was walking with some guy, but nothing happened for a few days, and you spend that money, it's done. It's over either way. Because I've been through it with a couple of guys through the years that felt the need to go out and hire one of those private investigators, and was keeping me up to date. One guy kept me up to date on how that thing was going, and like, dude, I think think she's seeing somebody, man. It's just hadn't been acting right. And meanwhile, he was kind of an F up too. So it wasn't like, if she did, she'd be the only one. So I kind of listened to this guy, we're going through it, and I go, and the whole thing. And, he's denying stuff to me about his stuff. And sometimes guys like to come to me for some reason. And I said, dude, I just remember going, hey, I found out nothing's going on. I said, man, that must be your own guilt. But either way, the fact is you don't trust her. Man, you guys got some stuff to work through there, man. It's not good. We're saying all that now, getting back to the other stuff, man. We got all kinds of stuff going on here this morning to jump on, and the Dolphins and all our guys here locally are getting their picks in, and we're, of course, telling, I love this one. I do it, and we're getting worse about this. We're all telling John Eric Sullivan what he should do and who he should pick. I love the way our writers, some of them, start this stuff. I like to read everybody's stuff and see what they're all saying. The Dolphins need to get this guy if he's there at 11. This needs to be their pick, and this is why. Like, the teams don't sit around and talk about this maybe a lot more than we do, spend a lot more money on it than we do. But, yeah, man, my phone was blowing up all day with all Dolphin fans in my life. And I mean some very successful people. And I love it. I mean, I do love it because I'm guilty too. I'm guilty after all these years of loving this day. And you start studying it, and you remember watching guys, and you're watching highlight. By the way, why do we ever go back and watch highlights? Of course, that's why they're called highlights. It's like a father telling me, my son's not getting recruited. Well, you look at his highlights. And I look, and he shows me 10 highlights, and the kid looks like he's a 5-star right here in South Florida. And you realize, like, hey, man, you realize you're showing me, like, the 10 best plays of his career, And so, anyway, these guys spend a lot of time, a lot of money. I mean, there's a big fat budget for them to really get to the bottom of all this stuff, and it's a huge one, man. For John Eric Sullivan, this is big. This is big stuff, man. First draft. I love something that I heard yesterday. I know it was said a few days ago, but I was just reading it again yesterday from our head coach and our general manager. They believe the higher you're picked, especially the first couple of rounds, we expect more out of those guys. I was like, man, that's the school I'm from. I'm from that school too. Now, I played during a time there's no free agents, just drafts, and only time you got it, guys, if you traded for another guy or the guy got let go and he came to your team, which those things did happen. But yeah, like, hey, man, if you're our first round picks and we stick with our 2 first round picks and our second round pick and those third round picks, we expect a little something special from our top 7 guys. We picked them. They're top 100 picks. We expect more out of them. And I was like, damn, that's refreshing to hear. Calling them out before so everybody knows and our fan base knows we're not drafting and go, well, we understand not every guy's going to work out. Well, they're not, but still expectations going into this thing. We're picking them. We're going to still write you guys a nice big fat check. Every guy in those first 3 rounds, I don't know, as the signing bonus on a third round pick is still a hell of a lot of money, folks. It is life-changing money for a real fresh start, for a nice start to your life out of college, although all these guys are making a ton of money in college now. So that used to sound a lot better when I said that, except for now. I didn't realize how many millionaires there are playing college football, and there's a bunch. There's a bunch of them. They're all over the SEC. They're all over the Big Ten. They're all over the ACC, man. Big 12, they're everywhere. No question about that. So we're getting into this, and the picks are coming out. I did want to, when we come back, I want to spend a little time. This Maui Noah thing's really bothering me, man. It really bothered me yesterday. Of all the things that bothered me yesterday, the Maui Noah thing and that Schefter report, I felt like Schefter, just to be honest here, straight, it's not the first time, he's an agent-driven dude. Adam Schefter is an agent-driven dude. Listen, he makes a great living. He's doing great with it. He's not sitting there talking to GMs when he picks that phone up. The GMs are not calling him. The agents are calling him. But he's got a great relationship, starting with Drew Rosenhaus right here in town. I'm very close to Drew. Drew makes no bones about it. Adam Schefter is his go-to guy. That's it. Now, not saying he won't play tennis with me and give me stuff, but I do know. So I don't want you to think I'm talking to an outsider. I'm very close to Drew Rosenhaus, and he'll tell you the same thing back. Going back to when he was like 12 years old, and I'm hanging out with his dad. So, Dad was a great guy. Great guy. But I wanted so this thing with Maui Noah really, really bothered me that all of a sudden this report just pops up, and I thought it was going to be a trade, and they go to Schefter, and I'm watching this during the day a couple days ago, and he goes, Maui Noah, herniated disc. I mean, he made it sound like gloom and doom. I went, holy crap. I mean, I'm thinking dropping way down. I'm thinking this guy might have gone from the first offensive lineman taken in this draft to way down. So anyway, that's not the word coming out of Coral Gables. Just they were shocked to see the report. Where's it coming from? They text me back, where's this coming from? And this is BS. And we've taught, So we'll see. But I feel a lot better about picking and putting Maui Noah back up there where he needs to be for this draft tomorrow night. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning. Plenty of stuff. A lot of guests coming up. Dave Hyde will join us in the early 7 o'clock hour. We'll get caught up with Dave Hyde, who, by the way, on his first two picks here locally, he did a good thing, man. He went Coral Gables. He going to make sure those Canes are on his side. He picked two Canes in the first round. But I got to tell you something. If Mesidor drops to 30, something's wrong. I don't care if he's 30 years old. Something's just not right. All right, we got to go to break. We got a lot more stuff to get to here as we continue on this morning, and we'll talk a lot more, and I mean a lot more about the upcoming draft and what the Miami Dolphins. We'll get to that final list of people, of players that are looking like they could be and have a shot to be Miami Dolphin players, or at least who a lot of our media and national media think who it's going to be tomorrow night. I can't wait. I'm going to be at the Wharf in Las Olas, a big party, and I'm not hiding it. I like to have a few drinks while I'm enjoying watching the draft. Every 8 minutes, bam, another pick's coming. Hey, I want to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's never looked better than right now. When you go to your South Florida Chevy dealers, I love talking about those SUVs, man. I've been in that Tahoe for 20 years. I call it the Joe Tahoe, man. I just can't. Even now, I don't have any kids around anymore. I'm still driving that big, beautiful, comfortable Tahoe. I love it. And if you need even more room than that, we got the Suburban. And then if you want to go to the small Tahoe, they call it the baby Tahoe, is a Traverse. Whew, man, it's got a great look. Great look. It's smaller, but it's still got a lot of room. Right over to the Equinox. And then I got to talk about the trucks, man. You got to talk about your cleanup hitter. Who's hitting the home runs? Who's giving you all the power you need in that lineup? A Silverado truck is where I'm talking about. Silverado 1500, Silverado HD. I'm talking about strength, power, durability, capability. Man, you could never go wrong. Whatever your lifestyle calls for when it comes to a truck, whether it's that full-time truck, that's how you make a living. You're up early this morning listening to us on your way to a job, and you won't stop till it's done. That means you're going to be working on a Saturday and a Sunday. You might work a couple of weeks in a row. And you know what? You got a truck that can be right there with you and give you everything you need. Maybe it's still to get the kids around. Maybe you need the total package, which means a little bit of enjoyment on the weekends. Wave runners, that boat. Oh, yeah, we got all the power you need. And yes, the last time I checked, that Corvette is still the sexiest thing there is on the road. Whatever you're looking for, man, stop by your South Florida Chevy dealer. We got great deals going on. We are loaded down with SUVs and trucks and sexy Corvettes in the showroom. You can't go wrong. Stop by your South Florida Chevy dealers and fall in love. here. You know what's weird about baseball going on right now? By the way, it's a great time. If you just love sports, yeah, everything's full. Your apps are full. You got last night on NBC, the basketball game was going on with San Antonio. That was great.
We had, 2 7 seeds win last night?
We did. We had some teams even up some series last night.
Wemby's hurt,
Wemby got a little concussion. Good. Yeah, he didn't play a lot last night. But on top of that, I mean, we just got games going on everywhere. So you just and then you flip it over if you're paying for everything, and the baseball game's going on, and everything.
We got the
else.
fringe sports coming around, right? We got the Formula One.
We got F1.
Golf is coming to town, right?
Golf's coming to town. We got PGA. We got golf, and we got 2. NASCAR's coming as well.
We just need a pro bowling event, and we'll be all set down here.
God.
We'll have every sport. We had pro pickleball.
Okay.
Or as pro as it gets.
Yeah.
At the Hard Rock.
We did. And
I'm just saying we got something for everyone.
I know. That was a jab.
That was not a jab.
That's for sure about. Even early in the morning.
That's a successful event.
Pickleballs to, yeah. A lot of people are playing pickleball.
Courts are packed yesterday.
Great. You playing?
No, the courts are too full.
You don't play. You don't play anyway.
I don't know what was going on.
You don't do anything. You don't even work out. Your workout is you take your kids to events.
Well, yeah. So I was picking my kid up from a baseball thing yesterday, and the courts were slammed with seniors. I don't know what was going on over there.
No, they're slammed.
Day or something.
I got news that they're slammed everywhere, morning, noon, and night. They are. I mean, I see it too.
I don't know is it senior day out there?
I think every day is. It's just those handful of idiots that try to get you to stop playing tennis and tell you how much better how much you're going to enjoy pickleball. And I'm not taking away. I see, I'm a professional
you're getting close.
pickleball. I'm not. Still fighting it.
So you're going to be doubles.
I got a couple of guys that have been banged up got them back for singles again. I go, oh man, good for you.
You'll get in the doubles for a little bit. You'll have a falling out with your partner. And then
I took
go to pickleball.
Actually, I told the doubles guys to just leave me alone. I'll let them know when I'm ready. Because that game's open every day. Go, he's looking for an extra guy over here. Yeah, thanks there, Charlie. Go get him. I'll let you know. All right. Hey, listen, we got a lot of other stuff to get to here this morning. How cool was that last night? Speaking of baseball, turned it on early. Fernando Mendoza throwing out the first pitch last night. Going to be a fun day for him as the expected to be the first overall pick in the NFL draft. I said something yesterday, and I thought the text machine would chew me up. Woody, I don't know if I said yesterday or a few days ago, and you kind of looked at me too, about Fernando Mendoza being the first NFL player down here, born and raised and gone to high school down here, to go first overall in the NFL draft. I was wrong. I was wrong. But I thought for sure Larry Bluestein would be the guy, because Blue is the historian of all high school sports, especially football and baseball are his two passionate sports that he follows. And I thought he'd get word of this and go, no, Tucker Fredrickson, 1965, South Broward High School. I know you're laughing, but I remember Tucker Fredrickson.
Well, how the hell was I going to get that one?
No. Tucker Fredrickson's now in his 80s. You're not,
okay,
to my point, but I do remember him. And he's South Broward High School. So we're going back on that. And then how many UM guys you think have gone the first round besides recently Cam Ward, who we got to see up close? Want to guess? All those great teams at UM, just off the top, because I would have never got it.
How many guys went in the first round?
No, not first round.
Overall?
First overall. These are all first. This is a first overall day right now. Man. First overall topic, because now we're going to have people giving me all the players in the first
years?
round.
Like, what are we doing here?
No, we're going, well, you got to go back, which you can remember. You're not supposed to remember Tucker. I actually know
a lot of Tuckers.
So I got to tell you a crazy one. I know who's really good friends with Tucker Fredrickson was Craig Morton. For some reason, they were all buddies. I think they might have played together. Why? But anyway, and I know Craig Morton very well, who went to Cal and helped recruit me to Cal. And so I just used to hear that name all the time. And then I got back here and I go, wow, he's from here. So Vinny Testaverde, Russell, Maryland, and Cam Ward. Now listen, Don't get me wrong. They've had a whole bunch of dudes going to first round. And that's why I want to tell people before they try to get smart and try to tell me who the fourth pick was. And then I know the UM's had a zillion guys going to first round. I don't want to get into that today. This just happened to be, doesn't happen very often that Dade and Broward County get a guy that goes first overall. By the way, I thought there would have been a ton of baseball guys. And I think, as far as I know, the only guy to go first overall in the draft is Alex Rodriguez, who I do know for a fact went first overall to the Seattle Mariners. And he was good. It didn't take him very long. He fit right in, man. Talk about a guy skipping the minor leagues to just like ridiculous how good he was at a young age playing for Seattle. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to get back to here was that Maui Noah. That Maui Noah thing, did that bother you yesterday, Woody, when that Schefter report came out? We sat and talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, look, I hope that teams aren't listening to this stuff.
They don't.
I mean, I can't imagine.
No.
Like those guys are sitting over there watching sports.
So they know. So first of all, let's just start with the teams know the Schefter stuff comes from it's agent driven.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the same thing as the Bain deal, right?
Agents are ruthless when they're trying to, they send out information and listen, Adam Schefter gets a lot of great stuff. He does. He gets, hey, you got it first. We're coming to you. Team's going to have it, but you get it. You can beat the team to this. And he makes a living. He's got a zillion followers and he's doing great. So it works for him. This is not hating on him, but he also has to take one for the team occasionally. And, man, when you go with medical reports, you better make sure you are really on top of it. Now, I'm guessing there might be something to it. I don't think he's making it up because teams have that were interested in him, wanted to have their doctors look at him and those type of things. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on that. But just there is a lot of bad information out. And this has been going on for years. It's not something brand new, and it's not just a Schefter thing. And he would be pissed if he hears this because, that's not true. And I got, sources everywhere and he doesn't give them up, which, he'd be stupid too and all that stuff. But I'm really curious like everybody, man. I think the Canes as a school have more players that I think like this going to be fun to watch just to see what happens. The Ruben Bain stuff. Hell, I hope he drops to 11. The Mesidor stuff, and people have tried to slide him in the second round. And for the life of me, every time I watch his 3 or 4 highlights, and again, highlights, he just doing things, and he did things in those games, in those playoff games, those 4 games against great competition, against guys who are going to get drafted on the other side of football. I was like, wow, he'd be our best pass rusher with those moves. Now, I know he's going to play against better guys. He's not going to be playing against college guys. You're playing against the best. And I'm like, I just want to see. And now, hey, the Carson Beck story, I'm curious to see. I'm going to give you another name. The name of my day for me today, I was looking at all the UM guys because there's going to be more guys get drafted. There could be some guys go 5, 6, and 7 in there, and we'll see. Nobody's talked about who had a really good season. And I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's a big dude. He's 6'6", 330 to 340 pounds. I think you know where I'm going. Inez Cooper. Right guard, played right next to Maui Noah. And listen, the two of them, hey, they did some work, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pass protection, run blocking. I'm really curious to see where Inez Cooper goes. He's going to get drafted. I don't know. He just looks like I've been wrong before. I thought Jalen Rivers would go right in and start. I thought from the year before. Woody, did you like him when he was playing the year before on that O-line? He's a guy that left. He's the only guy that, that left that group. And he got drafted. I think he went to Cincinnati. I think he played a little bit, but I thought they just put him in. I thought he was so good. I kind of feel that way about Inez Cooper. Now, I don't know. You read the reports and he gets neutralized at the point of attack. Excellent. Movement side to side. It's not, I don't know. Listen, man. So I'm really curious to see.
You can't read too much into it, right?
And it only takes one team, man.
You never know how the game's going to translate.
One team might have him in the third round. One team might be going, nah, we don't think he's a, for a second day pick. He's a late third day pick. I don't know, 6th, 7th round. Jacoby Thomas coming off a great year. Where's he get drafted? He's got to get drafted, right? Jacoby Thomas. I know we talk about Keontae Scott, but man, I'm curious. And then Markel Bell looks like Markel Bell, by the way, and Carson Beck. They look like the two guys going up the hill right now, man. They're like rising every day. Hell, we should wait another week for the draft. Oh no, unlimited potential for Markel Bell and Carson Beck's a completely different guy than we thought. He's impressed us in his meetings, and now that we've watched his tapes, man, this
ESPN should hire you to do a hype video for the draft. You're giving us all these great storylines.
Well, they're not storylines
for the weekend.
I just think, hey, man, this is
it's going to be good.
I will tell you, there'll be a lot of Canes fans, Canes/Dolphins fans, that'll be watching to see where this group. Listen, man, they obviously had a very good team. They damn near won the national championship game.
Yes,
so we understand that. We can talk about Ohio State and how wonderful they were, and we can talk. They beat them.
Yeah, say someone beat Ohio State.
And they ran right down there, what, on the last drive to beat them.
Yeah, Tex just said, I think Schefter learned his lesson leaking medical reports like he did with Jason Pierre-Paul. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was a wild one.
Well, he did lose a few fingers in that thing, but.
Yeah, I suppose.
Anyway.
But remember, there was
we learned a lesson.
Yeah, that was like the reports from like inside the hospital, like something like that was a weird one.
All I know is I think we've all learned a lot. Are you a big when the fireworks go off? I like that stuff.
I like watching from a very far distance.
Yeah, I don't mess with those
I don't
want
to set them off.
I'm not one, like wants to play with them to the last second. And
I don't do it in the street or no. We're not like front yard. Go to the tent and buy the fireworks. No, I'll watch the professional show.
I'll tell you what, he had a hell of a career, didn't he? He had a really good career.
Jason Pierre-Paul?
Deerfield Beach,
yeah.
Deerfield Beach High School.
South Florida's finest, yeah.
Another one of those great players. Anyway, Woody, we got to go to break here, man. We are just getting started. We haven't even touched that list of Dolphin guys. I got some great lists yesterday. I will tell you, man, there's some people in my life, and Woody, probably in yours, that are locked in on this thing. I feel they're just outside the war room of the Miami Dolphins. I mean, they got their guys. They got their list. I got some friends that are having a Thursday night draft party. I go, wait a sec now. You can't drink too much on a Thursday night because we all still got to get up and show up to work, including me. And you can't complain, by the way. One thing you can't do, man, you can't show up next week and go, I'm tired. Nobody wants to care, man. The Dolphins going to be up all night getting ready for after they make their 2 picks or decide what they're going to do with that second pick. I'm not so sure that thing might disappear.
So you're not going to come in the next day and complain you're tired?
Hell no, because I'm jacked up to watch the draft all day.
We'll leave that to the other host.
Oh, man. Friday's going to be a big day, brother.
Texter asked, he wants to know if you're hosting a draft party. You will be out somewhere tomorrow. You're at the Wharf, right, in Fort Lauderdale?
I am I'm going to host a Dolphins party. I'm going to have some great guys with me. I'm going to have OJ McDuffie, Jimmy Seff. I got the Penn State guys with me out there. We're going to have a player. I don't know if I'm supposed to say Patrick Paul is going to be out there with us.
Okay.
So there's going to be a player out there with us. Do you
mind if we promote that Dono and I will be on from 6 to 8?
Yeah, but you guys will be on the radio.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, driving in to your party. Maybe
there you go. That's the way we connect them. I like that.
Thank you.
So listen to
the handoff. It's a handoff.
It's a handoff. Yeah. Cohen and Judah don't like handoff.
No, that's what I was thinking.
Everybody been giving me a hard time about my handoff thing. Well, if it's sticking, it's working. Now it's time to use those guys.
So we'll do the handoff. Dono and I will hand off.
But it's going to be fun. I've walked by the wharf a few times on that romantic evening where I walk down on the river with my wife, get caught up on things.
She's not coming to the draft.
No, hell
party,
no.
right?
She wants nothing to do with me when I get
out. Don't end up like
she's seen the Idiot Show.
Don't end up like Mike Vrabel.
She has seen the Idiot Show.
I want to see you standing up there apologizing like that.
No, but listen, I am a hugger. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but not alone at a resort.
No.
I got to tell you, watching that guy yesterday it was painful. That was painful to watch, man.
That was not a guy hey, why you got to ask?
There? Huh? Why did they stick him up there?
I think he did the right thing. I disagree. I think he did the right thing.
I know, but it was tough to watch.
By the way, you can he left a lot to be read between the lines, didn't he?
Not really. He basically admitted guilt.
Okay.
I mean,
well, at first they were like, dude, stop with this. Those pictures were like, what are you doing? And then then more information came out and you're like, ooh.
You're just not used to a coach getting up there and saying, well, I had to have a tough conversation.
I think
that's usually like when it's coach and quarterback. Yeah, it's like Mike, like I had to have a tough conversation.
Bottom line, he was telling you, bottom line, he was telling you things ain't great at home. Those conversations. Would you ever had to have one of those kind of conversations? I can answer. No, you haven't.
No, not that.
I've had those conversations, and not to that, but without getting into my years of stuff. But
luckily
they're rough, man.
Didn't exist back then.
No, those would be rough to go through. Hey,
taking months to get the photos developed,
and I want to let you know, me and the wife, we are good. I do still really frustrate her. You know, I did the other day. We were up and they had those tours in St. Augustine, and I'd had a few drinks, and a guy kept coming by and they're full. They're stuffed with people, and they're going through the history. The
bus tours.
Yeah, and they're open, and I go, hey, how you doing? The guy in the front of you stops, and I go, man, hey, you guys are so lucky. This guy's the best of all the guys. He's going to give you more information. You got congratulations. You got, and the guy goes, thanks, man. My wife goes, why? Why'd you do that? She was really upset. My daughter was like, oh, my God, that was embarrassing. Why would you do that? So just make the guy feel good. Kind of like going to Atlantic Men's Clinic makes me feel good. ED and low T, man, I want to let you know it is gone. Low T, ED, I had the combination package. I don't wish it on anybody. It's one thing to not have your energy level. That's bad enough, where you're just like you used to do things, and now you find yourself not walking, not staying active. Find yourself after work coming right home, watching TV in that same rut, watching TV, falling asleep, eating the same amount of food, and then you gain 20 pounds and going, I don't know what happened. I do. Used to walk a little bit. Used to stay more active on the weekends. You're getting around doing things. You've always been a tennis player. You've always done this and that. Now you're not doing it. And the calorie count, man, is going up. Listen, on top of that, you can live with that one now. Second one's hard. Very difficult for me. ED, full-blown ED. Oh, God. That was a terrible time. I got terrible time. So 2 years ago, it was so bad, I finally went to Atlantic Men's Clinic. And, boy, I'll tell you what, I couldn't have handpicked a better place to go to get great results. And I'm talking nothing was working in the bedroom. I was the one going to bed, running to bed early to fall asleep before she got to bed. And, man, I tell you, if you've gone through it, it's going to happen to every guy out there. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big or small you are, what color you are. ED is going to happen to every guy out there. And when it does, and your energy level has gotten to the point you're going, I don't know what's wrong. I had my physical. They said I'm fine. ED and low T are going to happen to every guy where your numbers are so bad you start to notice a difference. Schedule a consultation with Atlantic Men's Clinic today. This is what they take care of, ED and low T. They will knock it out. It will happen quickly. You get your T, your PSA test. They look at your numbers. You meet with their professional staff. They explain it. They've seen it all. They've seen it all when you tell them nothing's happening in the bedroom, and I'm embarrassed. The guy goes, don't be. Lady with him goes, don't be. This is part of what happens. Got the testing done. They put me on a program, and it is fantastic. It truly is fantastic, man. Active weekends, just more energy. Where you going? I'm going to go walk. I'm going to go walk 3 miles. I mean, this feels great. Feels great being in your 60s and be still staying really active, man. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. A brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation, 877-455-7300. Set up that first appointment. If you're going through it, it's not something guys talk about. There's no dumbasses out there talking about having ED. If you have it, you know if you have it. And she knows you have it. Go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. Set up that first appointment. I promise you it will be gone quickly. AtlanticMen'sClinic.com for more information. Atlantic Men's Clinic, thank you so much. 2 years on the program. Man, it works.
WQAM invites you
Looks like Pat Riley's going to actually talk next week. I heard he might talk on Friday, and think the team wanted to wait till after the draft stuff to get listen. The Pat Riley thing, man, doesn't matter when he does it. It's I think everybody's kind of curious to see what he has to say. You know, it wasn't a good season, and he's usually brutally honest, and because of that, it's and I mean, he says stuff. I laugh, man. I think it's funny. Old school people love it. Some of the new school, you can't talk. Younger people, you can't talk to people. If you're gonna talk like that, you can't do it. You guys are a dying breed of telling guys what they need, you know, the truth, and you can't do that and all that. So hopefully either Friday or Monday, but sounds like more next week we'll hear from Pat Riley. And then on top of all that stuff, we got all this draft stuff, man, and the draft, just between the popularity of college football and all the big schools can be well represented. It's a great year down here in South Florida after University of Miami's great run to the championship game, and all the players from Maui Noah and Bain and Mesidor and Keontae Scott and Carson Beck and Markel Bell and Nez Cooper. Jacoby Thomas, man, he had some great plays, didn't he? Just great plays. I left some guys out that could be in there as well. So in the 7th round or 6th round of this NFL draft. And if not, there'll be a handful of more guys. There'll be probably get pretty good money to be a rookie free agent and for teams. By the way, I know one thing. If I didn't get drafted and the Dolphins been talking to me a lot and they called me, this would be the number one team I go to, because it truly is open competition. Not every position. That's not like everybody's competing for a starting job, but there are going to be a lot of guys competing for a lot of playing time and getting in that rotation. Let's be honest, man. Same guys don't start from beginning of the season to the end. You know how this thing works. The guys get banged up, miss a week or two, go on IR for 4 weeks or for the season. And all of a sudden, like we did at the end of last year, we had every rookie playing, everyone, including Quinn Ewers, starting the last 3 games at quarterback. So, yeah, man, when they say, hey, man, it's open, whether you're a veteran that came here on that 1-year deal or you're a guy we're drafting, and yes, we expect more from our higher draft picks, and they might get a little better opportunity because they are high draft picks, and we pay a little more for them. So I just love it, man. I love they're so open about it. I don't think quarterback position, I mean, before you hit me on that one, it's not open. No, it's not open. No, Malik Willis is a quarterback. Left tackle job's not open. Center job's not open. Right tackle job's not open. There are jobs. Obviously, the running back position, once that contract gets done, is not open. But you also know that they're not going to play one running back the whole time. So, no, it's going to be great. Same thing on the defensive side of the ball with the whole group. Hey, by the way, yesterday Perk said something that was so true. And we got to go to break here, but get caught up for the 7 o'clock hour, and Dave Hyde will join us. Perk brought up what 3 players that could really help this team, that besides this draft and the free agents they've added and making sure you keep that core of guys. There's 3 guys that if they play well this year would really help the situation going forward. We'll talk about that when we come back in just a second. But first, let's talk about those injuries. It's a good news, bad news I want to talk about right now. The bad news is you got hurt, man. I'm sorry, but you know how it works. If you're active in team or individual sports, sooner or later, the body breaks down. It's just the way it is. It does for your kids, for your wife, for you. It doesn't matter. It is nice to have Baptist Health South Florida, one of the top sports medicine programs in the country. How do you get there, Joe? How do you get there to say that? Well, you're saying that because they tell you to. No, they didn't even put that down. I know because, number one, I've been injured, and I've had operations from these guys. They have some of the top specialists from all over the country that have joined the team at Baptist Health South Florida. specialist for the knee. We got some of the best damn knee doctors. You can completely destroy your knee and be back playing at the highest level. We got some of the greatest success stories that have taken place right here in South Florida. You can read between the lines in hockey and football who I'm talking about. Shoulder, foot and ankle, hand specialist, back specialist, hip and knee replacement doctors, Achilles doctor. They do it all. You don't have to go any further than Baptist Health South Florida and that all-star lineup of teams and facilities they have and team doctors. You put that all together, and that's how you become the best. And when you start talking about Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, you talk about Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, and 595 in Pine Island in Plantation, the pineapple is alive and well. Hell, it's getting better and better every day. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho. One goal every day. One goal. Getting us all healthy, back out playing the sports we love the most.
6:10 from Lone Depot Park. You can catch the game on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes will be in Boca to take on FAU. Their first pitch is at 6:30. And in the NFL, the first round of the draft is tomorrow night, with the Dolphins holding the 11th and 30th picks. Joe, our live coverage will start at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, leading into your big draft.
Yeah, leading right over to the Wharf in Los Olas, where we're going to have the big party and sit and watch the pick. Travis is going to be with us too. I left Travis out, but yeah, man, we got the whole group there, OJ and Jimmy, and then there will be a player there that I probably shouldn't have said who the player might be, but he's really good. He's good at a really important position, and he's going to be there. All right, so we've got all that, and expecting a nice big crowd to kind of check it out. It's always great being out there, see what everybody has to say as we're sitting there every 8 minutes. The pick, they're going to be a lot faster this year as well to get through. And then, hey, man, you can't leave early. Well, we got that 11th pick because we got to wait and see what's going to happen. There's a chance now. I think it's pretty good. Dolphins move out at 30 and slide back. And, boy, I'll tell you what, you run home, you get a little sleep, and then Friday's just as big, except you want your number one pick to be special. But, yeah, second and third round, all those picks. That's going to be a fun one. Honey, don't make too big of plans on Friday night. No, we got to make sure we got TV around to watch those picks coming in, man. That's going to be a big one, and Dolphin fans understand that. Hey, by the way, before we get to anything else, and the Marlins lose yesterday, it was good to see Marcy, though, had a nice game. Got to get him going in center field, had 3 hits yesterday in that loss. But I want to talk about some other stuff. Remember, Woody, I don't know if you remember this. This is going back to my day. Tomorrow, Skip Bertman, LSU Hall of Fame baseball coach. He was down here actually with Ron Fraser as well. He's as good a coach as there was, man. 5-time coach of the year, 5 national championships at LSU. You talk about a dominant program to be able to do that. He's a Miami Beach guy, and they're going to dedicate its Flamingo Park baseball stadium, rename it the Stanley Skip Bertman Field. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be tomorrow. And again, can't think of a guy that's done more in baseball. And Ron was pretty special what he was able to do, get the baseball going down here. But Skip Bertman, I mean, he left here. He was, in charge of recruiting and a big part of Ron's staff. But once he left, I mean, bam, he's as good as there is. And so congratulations to Skip for all the awards through the years that he's received and everything else, especially up in Louisiana at LSU. But, wow, 5-time coach of the year, 5 national championships. So congratulations to Skip. And well-deserved, man. Sometimes we forget about greatness from the past, and a lot of them are down here, and a lot of things. A lot of it started here. For a lot of guys, we're going to see it again tomorrow with the draft and everything else. Just a fun time, man. Just a fun time with the football. And Reuben Bain, of course, be another guy going the first round from down here at Central High School. So, man, I'm looking forward to everything. We really haven't gotten into this, and Dave Hyde's going to join us coming up. We'll talk to him. I see everybody locally's finally got their mock drafts out for whatever they're worth. They've sit and listened to everybody, but let's throw out some of those names. Reuben Bain, if he drops to 11, I still have my doubts that he'll make it to 11. I don't care what he looks like or anything else. That dude can play first, second, and third down. He can get it done. Mansour Delane is going to be up there. Number 1 cover corner at LSU. Francis Maui Noah is picking up steam, man. A lot of people think because the Dolphins have openly talked about flexibility, especially on the offensive line with guys that can play guard and tackle. And a lot of people think it's either going to be Fano or it's going to be Maui Noah at that pick. Utah tackle / guard as well. So, and they think you get quality at both positions. We only know Francis Maui Noah as a tackle, 3-year starter, 3 years here and gone, and really played well right tackle. And a lot of people think he can play inside just as well, if not better. So we'll see what happens at. And then the other name that Caleb Downs, the safety and all the different things he can do from Ohio State. I get it, man. I get it. He very well may be like, and they grade everybody. He might have the best grade of everybody. He might. But, man, safety's in the first round. I'm just not a big safety first round guy. Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's a good player. Minka's a good player. First round pick, though. And listen, he came in, he was great because he could play nickel and he was so good in cover. And they're saying this guy can do those things and he can play on the line of scrimmage and he makes a lot of plays. And, and he started at Alabama before going to Ohio State. So now Saban's signing off on him. And so everybody listens to Nick. And are we sure that's what we want? Just, Woody, how do you feel about safety? If he's the best player, so let's just say he is the best player, and for some reason he slides to the 11th pick.
I'm good with best player available, man.
All right.
Yep. Told you that from the beginning. As much as I like a guy,
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
I would probably go best available.
So let me slide.
Now their best available, Mel Kiper's best available might be a whole hell of a lot different, though. For whatever that's worth, too.
Well, that's going to happen.
Right? They got this best available thing. This has been on the screen for the last, week.
Yeah.
Right on the left side of the
they're going to run
screens.
You saw Shedeur Sanders last year. They kept running. He stayed at the top for 5 rounds.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, too. I don't know what, their draft board, I would imagine, is different than Mel Kiper's.
You imagine?
Yeah.
What do you think they share? They put in all that work and then go, hey, Mel, come in here. Here's ours if you want to work off of it.
Yeah, maybe.
No
maybe
way.
He's got their relationship.
I got to tell you, one thing's top secret for every team is your board and all that work you put in. Why would you share that with your wife, let alone anybody else?
But that's kind of the standard board that as fans we work off of, right? The Mel Kiper best available.
Yes, because he started this whole thing.
Yeah, because it's been flashing in front of our faces for the last.
When Mel talks, we
weeks.
Listen.
He comes out with that thing early in the season, doesn't he?
Well, it changes as he goes a little bit.
Yeah.
It does give us something to work off of, but it is important that people understand.
So I would like
that most teams don't go that
best available on the Dolphins board.
John Eric Sullivan is not going, hey guys, do you see what Kiper said about us last night? Move that around. Put Kiper's guy over ours. What'd you guys see out there? I don't care. Kiper sitting in wherever he's working from said this. So it's just not going to be the same. That's why I crack up when they take a guy he doesn't like. And, I didn't like him. Never liked him. And then we forget over the year, and then nobody calls anybody out, when it comes up again. So it is a difficult one. We do know this, and we got 2 guys. So Jordan Tyson and Jermod McCoy are guys that have been injured. Jordan Tyson, I'm told over and over again by everybody, Joe, he's unbelievable. He's the best receiver. But both hamstrings he pulled last year, had a knee and missed a year. And by the way, ACL, MCL combo, collarbone. He's had a few injuries. Now, do they just go away? He's 6'2". Everybody loves the size and all the things that he does. And everybody's telling me, oh, no. He's clearly, when you look at the combo and running and speed and route run, he's the best. Goes up and gets the ball, makes it look easy in traffic. And then you have to go, are the injuries gone? Because now he's going to play 17 games a year. And Jermod McCoy, he's had all kinds of stuff, some special thing put into the knee and missed all of last year. And a lot of people have him there at the top. So, he's healthy again now. And the doctors, I'm sure, have looked at everything. I'll guarantee you the Baptist health doctors have looked at everything. Everything. They've had their surgeons take a look at all these topics that we're talking about. So I don't know how they feel about guys coming off these kind of injuries and lack of durability. I understand injuries happen, man. They do happen. And do you jump back in and take a chance and just work off what you're seeing right now and when they're healthy, or do you kind of just go, we're going to pass? Anyway, all right, we got Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel going to join us coming up. He's on a walk because he just butt called me. I look up, I go, Dave, what are you doing? And he couldn't hear me. I could hear him, working with the dog. He was talking to his dog at the time. Right now, I want to tell you about Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah. Yep. Oh, my God. Harvey was jacked up last night. I said, Harvey, what's going on? He goes, well, working on a case, but wanted to give you a call, man. Hey, and he gave me his list. God, man, he loves the Dolphins. I'll tell you what, those guys are not only good when you slip and fall or have an automobile accident. Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah, the partners of Cohen and Judah Injury Law Firm, personal injury attorneys. But, man, they love their football. They love their sports, actually, overall. Love sitting around with those guys, man. But I got to tell you, man, when you hear their story and you find out they're going to handle your case from start to finish, more than 30 years of experience, big enough to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results, and small enough just to call you back. They believe everybody's important no matter what's happened to you. They understand you're in pain and you want updates on your case. They don't have other lawyers, so there are no handoffs. We wait for handoffs only in football. They don't do handoffs at their law firm. Nope, it's them. They got a great staff, but they are the lawyers, and they want to let you know to go to ConanJudah.com, read the reviews, partners who you can always get a hold of, even on the weekends. You get their number, you got a concern, you got something going on, something you forgot to tell them, you can always get a hold of these guys, and you know they care. They care every day. And if you get to know them, you won't go anywhere else. Go to ConanJudah.com, read the reviews, or call them at 866-FAIR-FEE. And just remember this, if you're not happy where you are and you feel like a second-class citizen, you got that handoff attorney, and you're not happy, come on over and see Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah. And remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV in stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Stepping those brakes is
With the 11th pick in the NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins select.
Well, Joe, we will find out tomorrow. Now it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com.
We've been talking about this for a long time. It's finally here tomorrow night. And Dave Hyde and little Chris Perkins in there and David Furones, the whole gang over there, putting it in their picks. And I think Dave Hyde went all Coral Gables in that first round as he joins us this morning from the Sun Sentinel. And the first pick for the Miami Dolphins, Francis Mauigoa, and they hold on to their 30th pick, and they take Akeem Mesidor with the 30th pick. Boy, you scored big
that.
down there.
I'd love that draft. I'd love that draft. Wouldn't you?
Yes. Are you kidding?
But,
all day.
You know,
I would take that all day right now. Yes. Said it yesterday.
You know the guy. It's easy for we've seen these guys play. We've seen them the last couple of years grow up and dominate. And boy, you talk about two holes that would be filled for the two big holes that would be filled for the Dolphins. So of course it won't play out that way. I'm like everybody else curious to see what's going to happen here.
Hey, Dave, you know it's so funny, too, and because Mesidor's age has been brought up, and 24 or 25 years old, whatever he's going to be. And I said, listen, man, anybody I love this, and guys still do this on TV. That's our guy for the next 10 years. Probably not. They're just not. Every so often you get one guy who plays 10 years for the same team. But it didn't happen very. How about 5? Let's get some real quality.
There you go.
To the point that he's either so damn good or he's on the downside after 5 years and you don't want to pay him again, or he's so damn good you can't afford him. Give me just the 4 or 5 years. I'm fine with that.
To me, that's irrelevant. And I get it. You know, it's sort of like people talking about Baines' arms. All I know is he produced. He was both of them. So you get 5 good years out of Mesidor, I'd take that and then see where it goes from there. So I don't think, you know, I think a lot of this stuff is just conversation. And I get it is an issue, like everything's an issue, but it's not anything that would prevent or even knock down Mesidor's rating.
You know, Mansour Delane's been mentioned besides Francis Mauigoa. Caleb Downs got a lot of people saying he's a safety for whatever that does. And I know Nick Saban signed off on him because he was at Alabama with Nick. And that does carry weight. That carries a lot of weight. God, that carried for years. It did for Chris Greer. Chris Greer heard him say something. He changed his whole board if Nick said something. But so I just and Fano from Utah is another guy that's kind of in the Mauigoa, can play a lot of different positions, which we know in the offensive line is the Dolphins have openly talked about. We like flexibility with guys being able to do more than one thing on that offensive line. How do you feel about the safety thing? If he's the best player, I know we got to get some damn good players. We got to upgrade this thing. What do you think?
Well, they need a great player, but they have at the prominent positions, the main impact position. They don't have a cornerback. They don't have an edge rusher. They need an offensive tackle, or certainly a lineman. They have no receivers that you say that this is the future number one. And so if you're ranking those positions by impact, safety's 5th on the list. So he better be a great safety. He better be, Derwin James or because there are no more Ronnie Lotts in the NFL because that's been legislated out. So basically, if he's a chess piece, you can move around and he's going to be a Pro Bowl player for the next 3 of the next 6 years or something like that, then I get it. But he better be really special. I know you don't want the safety, right, Joe?
No, I don't. And we had Minka Fitzpatrick, who was a really good player, and I'm like, they just don't make enough plays to put. That's all. And I'm not saying they're not really good. And hell, even last year, how good he was really good here for us. So something happened that I just love about John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley. There's been a lot of things, but they came out and said, yeah, the higher your pick, the more we expect from you. And we expect a lot from our first 3 rounds. It was so refreshing to know while I'm watching and we're viewing on Friday that I hear my GM and head coach say, yeah, the second and third round guys are really important. We put priority on the first 3 rounds. And when they get here, we expect more out of them. Hallelujah, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, a lot of the things they've said I've really liked. And it isn't that they're, reinventing anything, but they sound like a professional organization again. Whereas for years, you'd walk out of some of the GM press conferences and say, did he really say that the media is more concerned about the offensive line than he is, or he doesn't care about players being injured when he's drafts them, and you go down the line. So part of turning this team around is having a plan to turn it around and being able to articulate the plan, because again, you go back. Remember, in 2019 and 20, you had the head coach saying, we're not tanking. You had the front office saying, we're tanking. You had the front office saying, we're tanking, but we're going to get Ryan Fitzpatrick. So you got to be – these guys, so far, I don't see any red flags that say –
yeah, I agree.
Wait a second. The coach is saying one thing. Now it's early. Of course, they haven't lost a game. They haven't gone through what I expect is going to be a really tough season. But – everything that you've heard, you say, okay, I get it. They sound like a professional organization again.
Yeah, you may not like what's going on, and that's okay, and you may have lost, but these guys are consistent with their message. I feel like when they're talking to us, they're also talking to the fan base. And it's just there's no, well, I'm not really a media guy. Really, Chris doesn't like really doing this stuff. Like, our guys get out there, man. They'll talk.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
And again, I hate taking shots, and there I go. And you did it too, and now you got me going.
I got no problem.
We took 3 shots at Chris, though, before he even got in. It's done.
Here's the thing. For 10 years, and I wrote this, I said it, I don't know what Chris thought winning football looked like, other than the scoreboard. But was it big guys? He grew up under Parcells, and then all of a sudden it's fast guys, and it's drafting, and it's free agency then. Yeah. Like wild swings of the plan. So these guys come out, we're going to draft and develop. That's going to be the way here. So, okay, so we'll hold them to that and see. Now, obviously, they got a hit. And when I'm on the draft, and really this is, you go back, and this is 2020 draft for the Dolphins all over again. Okay, they got the quarterback high with the free agency, and that was expensive for them. Now they have 2 more number 1 picks. And they can't turn out to be a left tackle in Austin Jackson, who they had to move across the line because he wasn't good enough, or Noah Ibn-Akhani. They need to get players. So here's the pressure on them now.
Yeah, no, it's a good point with this. Hey, so let's get back to the other thing that we've been talking about, and Alan Poupart's going to join us a little bit later on. I know he a lot of people, and I understand it. This is not a shot at anybody, but Mike Mayock said, "Listen, you got Malik Willis. I'm just throwing Mike in there." He goes, "If you're getting him and you want to give him a chance to look like the franchise quarterback, you better get some help around him." But I think that will take care of itself. Especially, we'll see that in the first 3 rounds, right?
Yeah, look, they had 7 picks in 94.
Yes.
And the other way to help Malik Willis is get some defense too, right? I mean, they got no defense. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can help the quarterback if that's the idea. But my point right now would be get the best players. They go out and they just need players. Everybody's on a 1-year contract now, which again, it fits their plan of competition and earning it and all that. And I get that. I understand it. But they need to make sure they get some players who you look back 3 years from now and say, boy, that was a great pick. We haven't said that enough around here.
No, not so. That's, by the way, it's another good point. Hey, I got to ask you, I love the competition thing, by the way. And I think, by the way, there will be a lot of competition and not a quarterback and not at the guys that are coming back, the core of guys. They're all going to play. I think we got a pretty good idea, but there's going to be a lot more competition on this roster overall than we've seen in the past. And because everybody's kind of coming in the same situation, like a second year of a draft. That's not their draft. They got these veteran free agents on a real cheap price, on a show-me contract, I call them, where we're going to pay you. But if you're good, we'll get you a new contract. We got money next year. We'll make sure you get paid. And then we got our own guys who we expect a lot from. So there is going to be, when you go out there and you watch camp, it's going to be fun to watch for people that like all that competition. But I want to get to this other thing. What'd you think of, and everybody's got an opinion on this. I don't know if you and your wife have talked about, I know my wife and I, and now my daughters have jumped in on the whole thing, and everybody's got an opinion, even people that aren't even football fans, about this. The Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini situation. What do you think of his press conference yesterday? Woody thought it was a bad idea. I thought it was a great idea to try to put it to bed.
He had to say something about it, and he talked about it without directly talking about it, didn't he? I mean, he addressed it without directly saying anything about the pictures or
mentioning her name,
or getting into any history or anything. It's just, I mean, I don't like walking through anybody's bedroom and looking at things and having to talk about any of that.
So why does everybody care so much, David? I'm just curious.
Are you kidding me? Because you know why.
I do.
It is a walk through somebody's bedroom, and a head coach and a prominent reporter, and there's a million storylines from ethics to marriages to all down the line. So it's they tried to laugh it off at first. Actually, Vrabel did say it's laughable that anybody thinks anything happened, and
he didn't sound like that yesterday.
No,
he didn't laugh. It wasn't laughable yesterday when he was saying
I feel uncomfortable. Don't you feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
Going through it and
I've had difficult conversations. I've been that guy. I've done that. I'm not saying you have, Dave. I'm just being honest. I've been through it, where you have difficult conversations about things and places you've been and who are you with. And again, I'm not proud of any of it, but man, it's awkward.
You got to keep it inside. Everybody gets to keep it inside their family, though. This is in a coast to coast discussion of
that's true.
Marriages and
that is true. By the way, that is true.
And that adds to it. Look, if it's just your family, that's bad enough. But it adds a whole nother layer of problems when everybody's going to be looking at the wife and saying, "Oh, she's still with him,"
I get it. Hey, I got to leave you with the Pat Riley thing. Pat has been for years now, comes out and just lets it rip. I mean, he just he takes over that day in South Florida. It's his day, because he's gonna get after. He's gonna tell you the truth. He's gonna be brutally honest on how he feels. How's he handle it this year? I don't know if he's changed after the Jimmy Butler thing, but I mean, what's he gonna say about this team that was barely over 500, that was a 10th seed? I'm just curious. What's going to be the message?
The message is going to be what he told LeBron after they lost the first Big Three. LeBron came in for his exit interview, sat across from Pat, actually kicked Bosh out because Chris Bosh was sitting there, and LeBron said, "It's my time," and sat down next to Riley. They were quiet, and Pat said, "I need to give you more." And that's what he needs to do. The roster needs more. They got to make a move. I mean, it's past now. The problem in the NBA is they've boxed out. You can't do what the Heat did in getting free agents like LeBron and Bosh. They've taken that out of the equation with the way things they've done to the salary cap. So basically what they have is a trade. So to me, you put all the cards on the table. You go after Giannis, and if not him, who's next? Ja Morant, I guess. I'm not sure. Ja Morant would be like bringing in Jimmy. Where Jimmy wasn't. He was out of favor in a lot of cities.
Yeah.
And they rebuilt. Could they do the same to somebody like him? I don't know. But they got to do something. And the message from Riley is it's time to do something.
Bam still untouchable?
There's a question in it. I don't look. The Heat love him. I love him. I talk to him. He practices 4 times a day in the off season.
Yeah, no, everything about him. He stands for in our community. Everything.
But if the Heat aren't going to tank, and I love them for that. I really do. I don't want to go through 5 years of watching an awful team or not watching them. But there's the question of if somebody puts a good offer on the table for Bam, would they take it? And they are hard, fast saying no. So you got to believe they won't trade him.
David, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And by the way, you butt called me today. I just wanted to let you know while you're walking.
I was walking the dog, and
I was talking to your rear end. I could tell.
Yeah.
All right, David. Thank you, bud.
All right, Joe.
Take care. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel. Oh, Dave, you're the best. Hey, I want to talk about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning, man. I love that. Puts a smile on my face. Boy, I drive that Tahoe every day, all that room. So I'm talking to Chris Atkins. I said, Chris, I'm thinking about downsizing, man. I do. I love that Traverse. I do. We call it the baby Tahoe. I'm thinking baby Tahoe. It's just me. I'm in that thing 99% of the time by myself. He goes, don't do that. You're comfortable, aren't you? I go, yeah. Got your tennis stuff? Well, yeah. He talked me right out of it. All right, I'm sticking Tahoe, man. Hey, I'll tell you what, we got an SUV perfect for you, whatever it might be. Suburban, Tahoe, the Traverse, the Equinox. I can go through the list of, I call it my all-star lineup of SUVs. And you know what? Sweet looking, plenty of room, and got something that you're looking for an SUV. We got it for you. Just comes down to what size you want. And then on top of that, how about the truck family? How about the Silverados and Colorados, man? I got to tell you, the Silverado 1500 and the Silverado HD, boy, that covers a lot. Strength, power, durability, everything you need from a truck that works as hard as you do every day and still have the family to get around for all their sporting events on the weekend and maybe all the toys you like to pull around and enjoy on that day off or on a weekend when you want to go out to the ocean. Yeah, pull the boat, the wave runners. We got something for everybody. And you never have to worry, man. Silverados are as strong as you are every day. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. We got great deals going on and got everything you could ever want. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Because you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Volkswagen. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or start shopping for your Pricito now at DoralVolkswagen.com. Present any Miami Volkswagen dealer's unexpired new vehicle advertisement for verification. Other Lithia dealerships do not qualify. The competing offer must be available for immediate purchase at the advertised price. The competitor's vehicle must be identically equipped as our in-stock vehicle used for comparison.
The Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, where the fun never stops and the parking is free. The Casino at Dania Beach has it all. Enjoy new, exciting promotions, the hottest slots, great shows, multiple dining options, live poker, and simulcast. Plus, new members can win up to $5,000 in free play. Join the fun at the Casino at Dania Beach.
You're listening to The Joe Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you have for us here this morning?
All right, Joe, this is kind of a funny one here. Did you happen to see what's going on with the Portland Trailblazers and their cost-cutting measures?
No.
So their owner, Tom Dunn, and he's the new owner, right? He's the Carolina Hurricanes guy and ended up buying the Blazers.
Got a lot of money.
He does, but, you know, maybe this is why he has so much money because of how cheap he is. This story came out that he has all sorts of cost-cutting measures that he has done here, starting with they didn't fly. You know, they got these two-way contract players that the teams have, the G League, NBA, and whatever. Every team has flown those guys to their playoff games. The Blazers have not.
You got to earn it.
Now, this one was really weird. So they, the hotels will charge like, I guess, a late checkout fee. I don't know what it is, $50, $100, whatever it is, right? So that the teams can keep teams or people can keep the room.
Yeah.
While they get ready for the game, whatever. He made the all these staffers check out at the standard 12:30 time and wait in the lobby of the hotel. Would not pick up the late checkout fee. Said no go on the late checkout.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that doesn't
leak
sound
because people get salty. They leak.
That doesn't sound NBA-ish right there.
No, and then there were like some social media people, photographers and stuff that he didn't want to foot the bill to send them on the road for the games too. Like this is a lot of this stuff is very, very strange.
No late checkout, huh?
There's another rumor that he's trying to get someone to coach his team for $1 million to $1.5 million. Which, I mean, it's doable, but they said the top guys are in the $10 million range.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
I'm sure someone I'd take the job for $1 million, but
no, I know what you're saying. That's
a lot of people out there, but
right.
Yeah, I don't.
You're not gonna get a big name guy.
No. But I did think the making the staffers sit in the lobby because you don't want to pick up the late checkout fee was pretty
wild.
funny.
And of course, you bought the team from one of the wealthiest families. It's just weird one.
Yeah. And by the way, no T-shirt giveaways for the home games.
Really?
Cost cutting, bro. Whew. I always thought those were covered by a sponsor. I guess maybe the sponsor covers part of it.
Yeah, part of it, not the whole thing.
But yeah, no.
I'll tell you one thing. I still remember when Pat Riley got here. He said, "Listen, man, we're gonna stay in the nicest hotels. We're gonna eat the best food. We're gonna fly in the best planes, but you got to work your ass." Remember the whole thing, but he made it clear everything's gonna be first class because free agents coming in want good stuff, man. So I don't know how that's gonna fly out in Portland.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff there. By the way, there's another story that came out. We don't really have time to dive too deep into it, but this James Dolan thing with the Knicks, have you seen they use facial recognition stuff at their games? And he goes after people that have been mean to him on social media. try to like get them out of the garden. And he like, apparently if you start a, sell the team chant, they track you down in the arena, and they like a lot of weird stuff going on with that guy too.
Doesn't he
He's
have
very sensitive.
Yeah, don't you have enough going on?
You would think. He's got his Sphere thing in Vegas. He's got his little band that he plays concert. Like, he's got a lot going on. But
you win every day. I know.
You would think.
I know the Knicks are under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but they're playing better. They choked the other night.
Oh, they choked one away.
He makes it, they have some likable players on that team outside of Karl Anthony Towns, and he just makes it really tough to root for that team at all. Like, I like Jalen Brunson. I
think everybody likes Brunson.
I don't know how you couldn't.
By the way,
that team is just so tough to root for.
Dallas is in on that mistake too. Anyway, what else you got?
That's true. All right, NHL regular season, Joe. Viewership rebounded this year and posted a 14-year high. NHL viewership averaged 546,000 viewers across ESPN, ABC, and TNT and True TV this regular season. That is the league's best mark since the lockout-shortened 2012-2013 season.
How about that?
Not bad.
Yeah. Numbers are up everywhere, apparently, Woody.
Apparently.
And NBA came out and said great numbers. Everybody's happy.
I'm sure numbers will be up on Jeopardy now, Joe. Did you see who's going to be hosting?
I see Mr. Buck is
Joe Buck reportedly will host a new sports version of Jeopardy featuring ESPN personalities that will stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
All right. I guess you like Jeopardy. You want to find out how smart everybody is, right?
So if you're like me, so I don't watch Jeopardy because I don't know the answers to any of the questions.
Me neither. It's a waste. I'm not very well rounded.
But every once in a blue moon, they'll have like a sports category. And I happen to know some of the answers in those, and makes you feel smart for a minute. But they'll ask you something like, especially the final Jeopardy questions. They're like, these are like ridiculous. Like, I don't know how people know these things. Maybe they read a lot of books or something. I mean, I don't. Certainly don't read many books, but
if they're not sports books, I'm probably guilty too.
Yeah.
That somebody gives me a book like, one of the guy like Jimmy Johnson book. I know all the characters, so I want to read it.
It's still a sports book.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's I agree. Just do documentary in there.
Was that a Dave Hyde book?
I like Dave Hyde.
Dave Hyde maybe could do Jeopardy. He seems like he probably knows a lot of useful stuff.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Dave's pretty well rounded.
I had a teacher when I was growing up in elementary school that did Jeopardy.
I got to tell you, the most well-rounded person in my life by far is Jimmy Cephalo.
Could he do Jeopardy?
Yes. Jimmy Cephalo can talk about anything. And then people get into at dinner, they want to talk wine. This wine thing comes up. And he's like the CEO of wine talking. I mean, that guy is like that. Like, he intimidates people who are into wine. They're going, oh, he knows soil too? I mean, that guy knows the soil, the weather, who's got the best stuff in the world. Oh, yeah, the West Coast got great wines up in the Seattle area. That I'm like, huh? Just stick to Napa, man. He's
you just say, bring me a tequila.
Bring me a tequila in the middle of all that.
Whatever you got.
He does, like, people call Jimmy Cephalo and go, hey, Jimmy, can you give me a wine? But I know there's some real expensive ones that taste really expensive. He goes, no, I like this bottle. It's about $50 a bottle, but it's really good stuff. You can't tell. People are buying it and stuff. Yeah, man.
Can you tell the difference between like a $5 wine and a $50 wine?
No.
Yeah, I can't either.
I get the same nasty hangover no matter what it is.
Yeah, wine definitely gives you a hangover.
I don't know why.
Just does. It's just, I don't know.
I can tell the difference.
There's a lot of sugar, maybe.
In tequila.
Can you?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. Somebody go, I can do the sipping taste and go, ooh, that's about what? $150 a bottle right there. Ooh, that's $200. Yeah. Oh, what's that? 20?
You just drink the Jordan one because you think it's cool.
I do like the Jordan stuff.
Yeah.
Harvey Cohen gave me my first
a nice bottle, by the way.
MJ bottle, and now
cool
bottle.
I
do. That's in the rotation. That's a rotation tequila. All right, Woody.
MJ doesn't make anything bad, right?
No.
He even does good in NASCAR.
No. He's got it rolling.
He's winning. He wins every race in NASCAR.
Whatever happens, he just put, like Nike struggling except his shoes, right? Nike's a little down except his shoes. They can't make enough pair. All right. Hey, 8 o'clock hour is coming up. We got a lot more. Alan Poupart. I always like talking to Alan Poupart. old Dolphin Digest days, and now at SI.com Dolphins and Old Dolphins podcast. By the way, as good as anybody at what he does. He truly is. Hey, we'll talk to him a little bit later, just a few minutes, and get his take. He got his draft out. And by the way, what I like is he really focuses on the first 3 rounds, and he's got some good names out there. He's done some work now. But I want to talk to you about Dr. Barry, Recovery Unplugged. I got to give him a call today, matter of fact. Not for me, but just to talk to him about some things. And I got to tell you, man, he's always talking about getting guys back that are going through a funk, depression, mental health's not where it needs to be right now. Hey, things happen in our life, man. You're going along and you're going to hit some rocky roads. And when you do, how do you handle it? From breakup in the marriage to losing a job, and all of a sudden things are changing and you get in a funk and you can't get out on your own. Drugs and alcohol aren't working. Well, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health is here to help you with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, which Dr. Barry's really big on, and innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Hey, how about this? Let's make this a year. Put yourself first and you get back on the road feeling like you used to. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. Hey, new year, new you, Recovery Unplugged, heal out loud. a real big guy, and he's on the offensive line. So anyway, we've got a lot. If you're looking to come to a party, come to Las Olas there and join us as we try to watch this together. Of course, Dolphins, as of right now, picking 11th and 30th. I feel good about the 11th pick. I don't know what's going to happen to that 30th pick. Do they keep it? Are they in love with somebody, or do they move out because they get some calls and they get that offer that they just can't refuse to slide down a little bit and pick up another really good pick? We do know one thing. Our general manager and our head coach love the top 3 rounds, and that's why Friday is going to be every bit as important as this first round. Second and third round Friday, a lot of picks. As of right now, that would be 5 picks, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and then all the stuff that comes with it. But the Dolphins picking 11th, 30th, and 43rd. And then the next day, Friday, 75, 87, 90, and 94. Boy, they'll be coming fast. You'll have 3 players before you know it. Those picks will happen quickly. Before you write it down, they'll have your next one just about ready to go.
So there was a lot of discussion yesterday on social media about tipping off the picks. You know how people do that? Like they get word of like who the pick's going to be, and they'll send it out online, like, you know, before TV's able to announce it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're against that, or
I don't care.
I shut off the social media stuff during the events like that.
I don't care. I wouldn't. I've been with guys that want to. I mean, they want to get it super fast, and it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
In the big picture of what we get, I really don't care who gets it first or how quickly it comes out.
I just thought that because someone from a 954 just texted and says, makes no sense. First overall pick team has 8 minutes to make the pick. They've had months. The picks
they know who it
at
is.
8. Well, hey man, ESPN's got to get their 3.
Remember
hours
that?
Worth.
What year was that? Was that? Damn, that might even been Jake Long's year, where they or somebody right around that had said their pick was done and they had the contract done. The NFL goes, hey, trying to make money on this TV show we're doing here, man. Don't be no matter. So you've noticed there's been, could the Raiders trade out now that they have Kirk Cousins, where they get such great offers? Somebody really wants Mendoza, and I'm like, okay, that's for the crowd. You know how everybody's
going to watch regardless.
Everybody's throwing out all the different scenarios of things that could happen. I'll tell you who did the best job for everybody, and they didn't even realize it. The general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs made 2 comments. He said there's going to be a lot of trades in the first round, and he said everybody feels differently about the order of the top players at every position. He goes, my top 5 at wide receiver is different than everybody else's, and he named pass rushers the same thing. The tackles, who might be guards, and guards might be tackles, he said everybody's different on that group. So he went through all this, cover corners. And so it's just like, wow, get ready. Everybody's board's going to look different in 32 different cities, even though we got a couple in the same city. But, man, it's going to be fun. It's got a lot of different parts to it. And then you got the Canes part, right? In our backyard with a lot of guys expected to go in the first couple of rounds. We got a couple of guys, man, just working off of, and we'll ask Alan Poupart about this coming up from SI.com, Dolphins, as far as where they have all these guys with the Canes going. Because they've all been stories. Maui Noah with the injury, Ruben Bain with the length of his arms and off the field, Mesidor, age, Keontae Scott's on the up. He's a riser. Nothing with him. Carson Beck looks like he's a riser, right? If you're just going by what we're hearing, oh, no, Carson Beck, impressed with his interviews. He can throw it. Got a chance to be a starter. 2 guys that I'm most interested in, as good as those stories are, and I think the Canes are going to be the most discussed team in the draft. Ohio State's got a bunch of good players, but they're just saying good things about him. 4 guys going in the top 10 picks, and they're loaded, and this and that, and they run fast, and they played well, and all those things. The Canes players are really an interesting group across the board. And for Canes fans, 2 guys that nobody's talking about that I believe can both be starters in the NFL. Markel Bell, 6'9", 340 pounds. Woody, one of the biggest men you've ever seen, right? That we stood by at practice.
Not even close, yeah.
And by the way, Inez Cooper is not exactly short at 6'6", 300. That offensive line was just massive a year ago. It wasn't by accident when they, at the end of these games in the playoffs, they go, all right, we're going to run the ball down the field. We'll throw a couple of short passes, but we're going to pound people. Inez Cooper and Maui Noah on that right side. I think Inez Cooper's really good. I know he talks a lot, and everybody talks, oh, man, he gets after people. The man is 6'6". Nobody's talking about him. He's really, I mean, we hear about Markel Bell and his size. I'm really curious to see what happens with Inez Cooper. I think he can play. Inez Cooper and all these guys. One thing about the Canes offensive linemen, they got a lot of starts. You don't have to worry about those guys being one-year starters. They have played a lot, except Markel Bell. But, yeah, really, this thing is going to be fun to watch with the Canes and see what's actually going to happen. Maui Noah and Bain going to stay in the top 10 and go early. Where does Mesidor? I can't even imagine Mesidor going. Can you, Woody? Mesidor going in the second round? I think he's got as good, if not the best pass rushing moves of anybody. I do. I'm not saying he's the best overall player, although Mesidor and Bain, for the people it's still important to, and it should be, guys that can hold the edge in the run game, those guys rank right up there at the top in college football. They're not just pass rushers. They're not chopping you, man, where they can only rush the passer, but you got to take them out in running situations and early downs. Those guys, you don't have to worry about those two. Hell, Mesidor and Bain played at 275, 280. Remember? They were shorthanded at defensive tackle and say, guys, you're going to get a little banged up, but we need you to play against the big guys. Those guys, they can do it. You don't have to worry. Now, they played lighter last year. The message last year from Jason Taylor was, hey, guys, we got to get your weight down so you guys get your speed back with your power. And they did. They drank the Jason Taylor Kool-Aid and got their weight down and had first-round years. Man, I can't just for Canes fans that enjoyed everything and obviously all these guys we're talking about played great in the playoffs. Going to be fun to watch and see where they go. Carson Beck going to be the third quarterback taken? Is he going to be the second quarterback taken? I don't think so. But third?
He may end up in this second or third round at this rate. If this guy sneaks into the first round, Simpson, well, who's the next desperate team in line here?
By the way, I do agree if that happens.
Actually might work out very well for Carson Beck.
He should be rooting for Ty Simpson to move up a little bit.
If somebody thinks like Orlovsky thinks about Ty Simpson, then I assume he'll go in the first round.
Nothing against Dan Orlovsky. Teams are not listening to one guy.
I know, but I'm just saying if people think the same way.
We listen. We all listen. I'm guilty. I listen to what I care. I don't always agree with what they say. Maybe
there's someone else out there that thinks he does every single thing better than Mendoza. Maybe there's another GM that thinks that way.
That was the only dumb thing he said. That was stupid.
Maybe there's someone else that thinks
Dan
that
Orlovsky,
way, man.
I know he plays it. I believe he goes home and studies. He talks about, I haven't watched all the games. I watched the first
I also don't think Orlovsky says crazy stuff to make headlines. I don't think that's his style.
You can't tell me that Simpson does everything better than the guy that's going to be the first pick in the draft. You cannot tell me that.
I don't.
And he either said they were even or that Simpson was better.
I'm not saying I agree with
he
him.
didn't get a hall pass because
I also don't think Orlovsky is like he's not that guy. Like ESPN has their fair share of those guys, but that's not his deal. Like he doesn't just say wacky stuff and hope it sticks. Like
no, I got you.
I don't think he intentionally started that, whole firestorm of criticism that he got out of that either. Like
we had some guys nicely said they really like Dan. We had three or four guys say, I really like Dan. I appreciate the work he puts in, and they do believe he works, and they believe he's a good guy.
Well, there's a but after that, right?
But you can't tell me that Mendoza
guy believes what he believes, man.
In clutch throws at the end of games, those back shoulder throws and dropping those passes in the back of the end zone and hitting the outside. So his guys ain't getting a whole lot of separation in some cases. And he's got some good ones.
Maybe he'll be right. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. So what? Mendoza's going to be the first overall pick, and now Simpson's going to be the second?
No, I don't think he'll be the second pick, but I think there's definitely a chance he goes in the first round, don't you?
Yeah. But I got to tell you, listen to everybody that reaches, because the league is not patient. Oh, you get Ty Simpson, and you let him sit behind. How many teams are doing that now? How many teams are patient with the first-round pick? First of all, as soon as a starter doesn't play well, they start booing him, and they want the guy out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's not ready, and he plays like doo-doo, loses confidence, and he's done. Nobody's patient at the quarterback. You want to talk about no patience. We don't have very little patience with first-round picks anyway.
Well, how many teams have we seen in recent years that have taken quarterbacks back-to-back years? They go, well, 1 year with this guy. Nope. He's not the guy.
By the
We've
way,
seen a bunch of teams do that.
You
now.
tell your fan base, hey, we're drafting a guy in the first round, but he's not going to play in year one. Try that one. See how that works, especially when the veteran comes in and those 3 or 4 picks in a game and 2 go for touchdowns the other way.
You think Carson could sneak into the second or third round? That'd be cool.
I'm rooting for the guy, man.
Yeah.
Nobody gets trashed worse than Carson Beck last year. Carson Beck
He did get a bad
He was
rap,
the beating boy of college football. Started with the folks from Georgia, by the way. Kirby Smart and the gang. Good job. You trashing a guy leaving the door.
I think he got the last laugh, though.
I agree.
Running in the end zone, winning that playoff game.
No, he got the final game,
Yeah,
not Georgia. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I took your guy and got more out of him.
Yep.
Mario goes, hey, Curb, you and I are friends. We've been on the same coaching staff. All right, we got to go to break here, man, before we get stirring it up. We got Alan Poupart, SI.com Dolphins, and the All Dolphins podcast, and got a vicious left-handed kick serve right into my damn backhand. I call anything close out on that line just so I can get a point off that thing. Hey, I want to talk to you about hurricane season right around the corner. I want you to protect your home with Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. I got a bunch of good news and why you should do it and not wait. Impact Windows, what they're doing with Doors Roofing, provide 100% financing and 0 down. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, no interest, no payments for 1 year. And if you need roofing material, they do it all. The roofing part of their company, tile, shingle, metal flat, they do all that. And they also do roof replacements and repairs 24/7. That's right, 24/7 roof repairs. You can call anytime, and they'll be out there to take care of you. Impact Windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. So don't wait for the next storm. They cover all of South Florida, by the way, and they take care of everything. Once you sign the contract, they do the permits, the HOA approvals. They just tell you, hey, get out of the way. Here we go, baby. We're going to get this done. Loctite's Impact's a licensed and insured contractor, really doing it all for you. They really, really do. Don't wait for the next storm. You can visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff ready to answer all your questions and get the whole process started with Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing.
negotiating with the IRS for more than 15
Traffic report is brought to you by the right lane blocked. That's traffic. I'm Alia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
With the 11th pick in the NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins select.
All right, Joe, it's time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale, one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com.
All right. I've been bragging about him. He thought I was taking shots at him last week, but that wasn't the case. He got bad information. Alan Poupart from SI.com Dolphins and All Dolphins podcast joining us this morning with that vicious left-handed serve that comes up and kicks up to my backhand up high, and I spray it everywhere. Anyway, Alan Poupart, let's talk about that draft, man. I love what you did in the first 3 rounds, really breaking it down with some fresh new names for everybody out there. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. Let's talk about your first pick. I like it. I got you over to the offensive side of the ball. I hope it happens, man. Francis Maui-Noa would be a nice way to start with knowing Green Bay. The Green Bay way is flexibility at guard and tackle.
Sure, that would work. The question is how realistic. And I use with those mock draft simulators, and sometimes I see names that are available there that I'm like, no, that's not realistic. Sometimes you Jeremiah Love pop up there, and it's like, there's no way he's going to be there. I'd be happy if Maui-Noa was available at 11. I certainly wouldn't hold my breath hoping it's going to happen. And that's my concern with the Dolphins, is that all of the guys that make a lot of sense for them, whether it's Maui-Noa, whether it's Mansour Delane, whether if you want to go even higher than that, maybe Sonny Styles would be another one. I don't know if any of those guys are going to be there. And if they're all gone, I hope John Eric Sullivan picks up the phone, start talking to other teams about the idea of trading down.
Wow. Okay. I like to stay in that 11 spot. Gosh darn it. Don't start. I'm afraid that 30 spot moving. No, let's stay at 11, get the best player. All right. So we got some other stuff here. First of all, Spencer Fano. I wonder how close the league looks at Maui Noah and Fano if two guys can play guard and tackle, because people are looking for more flexibility. You don't want a guy who can just play one position. How close do you have those guys as far as talent?
No, they're very close, and it's almost one of those where pick your flavor, And this whole idea, if I may, this whole idea of position flexibility on the offensive line. I'm sorry, the guys are going to be your number 11 pick. I don't really care about that. Give me a stud.
Yeah,
it's like
I agree.
Does anybody care that Penei Sewell is not a guard? To use one name, obviously he's an extreme, but it's like Patrick Paul, for example. Patrick Paul's not a guard. Does that bother anyone? At 11, the Dolphins, more than anything else, need to pick a stud. And 2 points here is, number one, they're at a point in their rebuild. They're starting from the ground up in terms of needing to build up their talent pool. Just get good player after good player after good player. Not worry so much about positions. And then number two, this is not a one-year project. Dolphins are not contending in 2026, no matter what they do. And when baseball analogy, when John Eric Sullivan is talking about they don't need to swing for the fences, just hit some off-the-wall doubles. It's like the Dolphins where they are right now. Let's say they're in the ninth inning and they're down by 5 runs.
Yeah,
they need runners on base.
Yeah. Let me just throw this out because I've heard this. It's been kind of split back and forth, and I have used your name in this. You got Malik Willis, and you got to find out if he can play. I don't know where you put that. Mike Mayock had it on top of, like, if you're going to get this guy and you think he's got a chance, and a lot of people think he's got a chance to be the guy. He's got a big arm. He can run. But you got to give him that chance, and he's got to have something with him that gives him a chance to look like the quarterback we hope he'll be down the road. That has to be a priority in this thing.
Oh, you know where I stand on this. I refuse to believe that the Dolphins cannot get a true evaluation of Malik Willis unless he's got like a good offense around him. And you know what? I'll give you an example. The former quarterback, what were some of the things said in his defense his first 2 seasons? Oh, he didn't have enough around him. The offensive line sucked. The wide receiver core sucks. And then Tyreek shows up. They got Waddle. They got thrown into an offense. All of a sudden, he puts up big numbers. And then 2024 arrives. Tyreek's dealing with a lot of injuries. And all of a sudden, the production goes down. Well, guess what? 2021 should have shown you at that point that this is a guy who can succeed if everything around him is great, but not somebody who's going to elevate the offense. Had he been able to show in 2021 without an ideal supporting cast that he could elevate the team to a certain extent, you would have known clearly that's your guy. This is what you're looking for in Malik Willis. That the signs will be there even if the numbers aren't there. Our eyeballs will be able to tell us, yeah, once they have a team around him, he's going to be really, really good. And there'll be times when it's not perfect around him and he'll still be able to elevate the team. And I think you might make the argument, you might get a better gauge of that if you don't have a first round pick at wide receiver and an offensive line.
All right. Hey, listen, I thought of Shuck and Drake May when you said that. I thought of both those guys. I think they both are going to be really good in this league and didn't always have obviously a lot with them. So to your point, and you're right. I'm trying to stay away from the two and Chris and Mike stuff. I'm trying really, really hard to use that as an example. But yeah, we already know this guy can do some things Tua can't do, right? He's got a big arm and he can run.
Got to be your best teacher, though. History's got to be your teacher so you don't repeat the same mistakes and you learn from what went wrong beforehand. And by the way, I didn't mention his name. You're the one who mentioned it.
Yeah, no, I know. Hey, so let's talk about two other guys. It's names. Boy, they're getting stroked pretty good, and they got the injury bug a little bit. Jordan Tyson, some thinks the best wide receiver, or Arizona State, 6'2", and Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. Missed all last year with a bad knee. They're saying he's back, and he's running fast. How do you feel about those two guys? They're probably both going to go in the first round.
Yeah, they both scare me. And I don't know that, again, to go back to the baseball analogy, picking either one, you're swinging for the fences again. And more so with McCoy, to me, Jordan Tyson should not be a consideration in any way, shape, or form, because the difference between a wide receiver at 11, and if that's the route you want to go, wide receiver at 11 or wide receiver at 30, I don't think is necessarily as drastic as it would be for a cornerback, or even for an offensive lineman, or even for a whole bunch of different positions. So to me, the idea of a wide receiver at 11 is, wow, that might be the most perturbed I would be of a Dolphin pick at 11 is if they go wide receiver.
Yeah.
Particularly one that's got injury after injury after injury, and to me, flashbacks of Devontae Parker when the Dolphins took him in 2015. And then McCoy, yeah, if the knee holds up, he could wind up a Hall of Fame cornerback. But also, if the knee doesn't hold up, then what? Again, I don't think the Dolphins are in a position to take a big swing at a guy and have him like shut down
right
very early. That they're not there in their rebuild. So to me, I'm not those guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. No. I'm with you, and a good point on that. Hey, by the way, you must have. Well, you're throwing a lot of baseball stuff. I think you and Andre Dawson back to the Montreal Expos on me there for a little bit there, man, and some of those guys. I like that. Hey, on top of all this stuff that we're talking about, I said this to Dave Hyde earlier. I love that John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley are talking just like you did with your picks. Like your first 3 rounds, we expect more out of those first 3 rounds. The higher your pick, the more we expect out of you. You don't hear that a lot. It's just, I think it's a given, like, hey, number 1 pick's supposed to be special, but it was kind of refreshing, wasn't it, to hear those guys say those first 7 picks we consider to be, we expect more out of them?
No, without question. And it's like, I'm sorry, that's just reality. For example, there'll be more eyeballs on the number 11 pick than there'll be on the number 30 pick and number 43 pick. Why? Because he was drafted higher. And yes, absolutely, without question, the guys who get drafted higher should have higher expectations, and so do the guys who take up more of your salary cap.
Let's can we talk for just a second? You go offensive lineman, Francis Maui Noah. You hit the needs, whether you're talking best player or not, you hit the needs. Cover corner as your second pick, and you went edge rusher with your second round pick, and then you go wide receiver in the first 2 of your 4 third round picks. I like it. You did hit need there, my man.
But I wasn't necessarily going for need. I mean, I get it. And we go through this Dolphin roster, other than running back with Achane, assuming the Dolphins follow through on basically their statement that they're going to sign him to a contract extension. Outside of that, where don't they have a need? So just get the best players.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, how they handle this thing with some of the veteran players have kind of been quiet, especially at center and linebacker, who both had great seasons last year. And they've been good soldiers about this so far. When do they get contracts? Do you expect them both to get extensions?
Unless they get drafted, unless somebody throws John Eric Sullivan an offer too good to refuse for, say, Jordan Brooks, if, say, the Dallas Cowboys can't wind up landing somebody of high esteem in the draft or through another trade. I think the Cowboys are not done trying to look for a linebacker. So if they call John Eric Sullivan with a really, really good offer, I could see a move being made there. I'd say it's probably still maybe higher than 50-50. Both are back. I don't know that there's necessarily a major rush to do anything with their contract just yet. I would think Achane's the priority if, again, the Dolphins do want to move forward with an extension for him.
Yeah. So I just think those extensions are important. And listen, I've been the guy that's been screaming about every guy that pouted on this Dolphins team got a new contract here a couple of years ago. All you had to do is act like you were upset for a couple of practices and sit out a couple of different drills, and you got a new contract. But I think these guys are special in the middle linebacker, and I think Brewer's a very impressive guy. I think their leadership, you can't put a price tag on the leadership. They don't play at expensive positions to start with. I think you got to re-sign him. I think you got to get him into early 30s and get him under contracts and give him a little more guaranteed money up front. You with me on that or not?
No, I'm with you on that. And there's a big difference between what's going on now and what went on in 2024 as the Dolphins adjusted the contracts of guys where they didn't need to do anything. And it was just guys using the power that they thought they had and that the Dolphins gave them and getting new contracts. And you got some like entitled players, and it showed up in an entitled team that underachieved. So, and You're right. Brooks and Brewer are not those types of players. They're good foundational pieces for what Sullivan and Jeff Hafley should want to build. So yeah, I'm absolutely on board with extending both of them.
Yeah. Hey, man, good stuff today. I love it, and I would tell everybody if you get a chance today to go to SI.com Dolphins and the All Dolphins podcast, and you got your mock draft out, especially on those first 3 rounds of guys, and you break down why and everything else, and really good backgrounds on those guys. So thank you so much, Alan. I appreciate it.
Oh, and then for those kind words, Joe, next time we play tennis, I won't put a lot of spin on the serve.
Well, if you double fault, that's fine. I accept that too. If you get a little fired up and flip the racket into the to the net, that's fine. So I appreciate it, Alan. Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, Joe.
Okay. Hey, we got to go to break here. We've got a lot more stuff. I want to take a second though to tell you one of my favorite charities in the world, Chapman Partnership. Oh my gosh. I know we hear about the homeless. You're going, I get them stopped at the stoplight, stop sign. They're a pain in the butt. And no. This is about rehabilitation, man. This is they come in and they stay in 2, 3, 4 months, total rehabilitation. I'm talking about changing lives and their programs that they have put together, providing caring support, all these wraparound services. And by the way, to all the doctors, mental health doctors that are in Dade County that donate their time, and there's a lot of them. So I want a list of those guys that come out on their own and will spend a few hours for the homeless to help them. They got babysitting services so mom and dad can go out and find jobs and find a place to live. Man, it is the program has so many great success stories. Where it starts is a very sad story. And next thing you know, you got a job, you got a place to live. The family's back together, got 2 great facilities. But this homeless problem's getting bigger and it's getting worse, and we need your help. We need it in so many different ways, man. With all these great programs they're doing, the workforce development education program, all the different programs have been fantastic. Any level of support is just so impactful for anything you can do in Dade County. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2026. Go online to chapmanpartnership.org, and thank you so much.
WQAM broadcasting live
All right, welcome back. And I want to thank Alan Poupart for joining us. And we're not done, man. Guy that had a chance to watch the Miami Hurricanes. Great run. I mean, it was fun, man. It was fun right down to that last interception to end the season at the end of the fourth quarter. Josie, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes, joins us. And Joe, I thought that was fun. And now we're getting ready for this draft. And I, all of a sudden, with all the stuff being said about from the top to the bottom, about guys coming up the board and maybe going down the board, the Miami Hurricanes might be the most interesting team in this upcoming draft that starts tomorrow.
It's a battle again between Miami and Ohio State.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a different one. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why guys would drop. Okay, Maui Noah, I think, is the best offensive lineman in the draft. He played every game in his 3 years at the University.
Never
of Miami.
missed a game.
Never missed a game. I don't think he ever missed a play. I don't ever recall him missing a practice or missing a play in practice. I don't ever remember going out there and saying, hey, where's Maui Noah today? Every day he went against Bain. Never missed a practice, never missed a game, never tapped out of a game, never tapped out of a practice. So let
me ask you on him. Run blocking, pass. You saw it up close. Run blocking versus pass block. We saw him pancake guys down the field. Besides that, equally good at both for you?
I think he was equally as good. I think he took a lot of pride in his pass protection because of the one-on-one drills every day going against Bain.
Right.
And he often said how Bain made him a better player. I think he was a real road grader when it came to run blocking. And then if I reflect back on those last 7 games, Joe, I can't remember him having a negative play from the time Miami, after the SMU game, all the way through the championship game. I don't know. Maybe he did. Probably out there. Maybe he got beat once. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was as good as it gets in college football. I thought his last mistake, and it wasn't really even his mistake, he got called for a holding penalty in the SMU game late in the game with just over 2 minutes to go on the play. They threw a flag on SMU holding Keelan Marion, picked that flag up, and then called holding on Maui Noah, which was ridiculous. But I think he's going to play in the league for a long time.
Yeah, no, he's got the goods. Nobody's talking about the guy, and maybe you feel differently about him. That's why I'm glad you're here. Well, besides getting a chance to see you. Inez Cooper, right guard, just such a big guy. He's played a ton of games, and he's the one guy. He's going to get drafted. I don't know where he's getting drafted. What are your thoughts of playing next to Maui, knowing how good they were on the right side of that offensive line?
Again, I think if you're going to overvaluate him, if you're going to miss on him, miss at your own, it's going to be your own fault if you pass on Inez. He's played from his freshman season through his senior year. The thing I loved about Inez is now he came here like 400 pounds. He was enormous. So he's got I would imagine they look at him, maybe think, oh, is the weight going to be a problem? You might have to stay on him about his weight. But I thought he did a good job of controlling his weight. And imagine being Inez Cooper at 6 foot, what is he, 6'5", 6'4", 350 pounds.
Yeah.
Every single play that he lines up, he knows that he can dominate the guy across from him.
Yeah.
He knows he can physically whip him, and he enjoys it. He comes with an attitude. I can't tell you how many times Miami would be on a drive and they're in the huddle, and there's Inez standing at the line of scrimmage, wagging his finger at the opponent. Inez, you gonna get in the huddle? No, he's just wagging his finger at the opponent. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run it over me, and I'm gonna block you 10 yards down the field.
He didn't like to talk. I didn't know that until I was out of practice. He'd get after.
And
guys.
I think he's one of those guys who's a unifier on your team. I don't think he's a guy that just plays for himself or is selfish or bad in the locker room. I think he's one of those guys who takes great pride in his game and takes great pride in winning and knows that it requires a certain attitude.
All right, I'm going to go through some other guys besides the guys we talk about all the time. Markel Bell on the left tackle position.
I think with Markel, its beauty is in the eye of the beholder because he's so tall. 6'9", 6'8", and I always thought, I would ask Don, like, okay, we're going against a great pass rusher from Louisville or Virginia Tech. He went up against some pretty good guys on that left side, but he's so tall. It's like an elevator. Can he get his hands down, his arms down fast enough before guys
get underneath
him and wedge around him? And I think he was pretty consistent last year. And again, when you're that tall, to get all the parts moving in a coordinated way, I always think is hard. And I would think to myself, man, that matchup on the edge, is Bell going to win it? And I would go back to, well, if Mirrorball thinks he's going to win it and Crystal Ball thinks he's going to win it, then I'm looking at the wrong thing. So I think with Bell, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and then also probably on the tape.
I made a mistake this year of the defensive guys just played for Heatherman. They just a great season. I can't say enough about that turnaround. But I always kind of looked at Keontae Scott and Jacoby Thomas as almost the same.
Yeah. Well,
and the NFL doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I get it mixed up all the time.
Well, one guy, I'm saying, one guy picks it, and I'm like you. I got to look the next day because I go, Keontae Scott's expected to go in the second round.
Well, he moved himself up in the from the Texas A&M game through the championship game, and I think it's because he makes a lot of plays. That nickel position has become more important in the NFL.
Ever, yeah.
In the past, was everybody looked at the nickel position and was like, let's get our third cornerback, right? And he can cover the slot. In this case, now the nickel position has become a higher priority.
It is.
And because you're asked to do a lot of different things, blitz, stop the run. Nickel guy can be on the field the whole time now.
Right.
Before he would jog in on third down. And Keontae can play all three downs. The thing that I loved about Keontae and Jacoby is, one, I remember at the end of the Louisville game, the clock is ticking down. Louisville's going to take a knee. Everybody's bummed. And those two guys take their helmets off and slam it into the turf, damn near break their helmets. And to me, I thought this is winning or losing matters to these guys. They just lost, and this really hurts them. The other thing, Scott got hurt, and he came back. And the college game, a lot of times guys will get hurt late in the season, and they go, I'm tapping out.
Yeah.
I'm going to get ready for the draft.
Yeah.
Keontae Scott came back to improve his own life and, the University of Miami, and played at an enormously high level. And Thomas, I don't think got enough credit for how physical he was. And all the people that love that Ohio State wide receiver, watch what Jacoby Thomas did to him in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. Hey, it's funny because Keontae Scott also, you didn't tell me, ran a 4.340.
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw that. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. I was there that day.
Oh, you did go to the pro day there. Well, speaking of pro day, the other guy that when he got here, he couldn't have had a worse reputation and built it back up. I thought Georgia badmouthed him. I don't think they did him any favors, but Carson Beck, and he's admitted a lot of it he did to himself. I give him credit. He didn't say, it was all them. And he said, I need a fresh start. I made some mistakes. The Carson Beck you saw play, we're just looking. He might be the third quarterback taken in this draft.
He was the most polarizing guy in college football. I don't know why. But I do think, if Mad Dog was here, he would say, what? I like my quarterbacks tall and guys that eat steak.
Right.
I kind of think that's kind of Beck. He's tall. He's got a good arm. He's really, really smart. Maybe his personality isn't for everyone, but neither is Mendoza's personality for everybody. He's I think, Beck, he got Miami to the final play of the championship game, and he did it in a variety of ways. When he needed to throw the ball, he threw the ball. When he was told to run the ball, he ran the ball. And I think he did a great job of getting Miami in the right play at the right time. The way they operate their system, he gets a little more help from the center. But that allowed Beck to analyze where the blitz is coming from and all that stuff. And I would say 95% of the time, he put Miami in a position where they were going to be successful on the play. He
looked smart. He did a lot of good things. Hey, Joe, I don't know what time they have you going to a meeting, but I got a few more minutes when we come back if you have time and talk a little bit. We do have Charles Davis, NFL Network analyst, getting ready for the draft's going to join us in this 9:00 hour as well. Right now, though, I got to tell you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Oh, my gosh, man. Listen, going through some credit card debt right now. Oh, boy. How about HOA dues killing you, insurance killing you, and that condo you're living in right now? Hey, look, things happen. Property taxes, the whole works there. You think, how am I going to get out of this? I'm upside down. I got a problem right now. Trying to live off my credit card at 18, 19% a month. That's not going to cut it. Well, if you need to get equity out of your home, Michael Koch at Choice Mortgage can get it done fast. I mean, half the time of the big banks, not just you've been looking at reverse mortgage. If you are 62 or older and sitting on a lot of equity in your home and in a lot of cases paid the home off and could really use that money, call Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. He can get that reverse mortgage done for you. And by the way, first-time home buyers with very little money down and low rates, Michael Kotze's got a great program for you to do it all. So whatever it is, that consolidation of any kind, call Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Go to Google reviews on the web, Choice Mortgage reviews. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage, 30 years of experience. The man truly has no life. His wife called me and goes, he really has no life. That man is always working 7 days a week. Call or text him, 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change. Daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
75 degrees and clear. Joe and Joe, send it back to you.
How about that, Joe and Joe? We don't get this very often. Joe Z in the house here with us today, and
only a few minutes left with him. You haven't asked him about all those recruits the basketball team keeps.
Hey, by the way,
racking up over there.
How
about
going out and getting some guys? I got to tell you, this new president, man. Oh, President Joe, man, go get him, guys.
Well,
whatever, let's win. I want to win.
What's the new term is positional height. Is that what it is, right? Positional size. And so you have that in football. Mario recruits to a profile.
Jay Lucas likes big bodies.
And Jay Lucas, got the guy from Robert Morris who's 6'8". They got Caleb Gaskins at Columbus is 6'8". You got Shelton Henderson 6'6". The guard from Villanova 6'2". Yeah,
that's a big man.
He could play tight end or defensive end. And the center from Georgia is 7'1", 260 or something like that.
Yeah. Now he
be a big team again.
He as soon as I saw that transfer portal and I saw all the guys who were leaving their school, I came into Woody and I went, Woody, things are good for Jay Lucas. It's going to happen, man. I knew he was going to get his share of guys.
He's a cool customer. He knows how to get along with people. And I was with his dad. I think it was before the second NCAA tournament game. His dad was talking about Jay's brother, and he said something to the effect that his brother is very intense and can be emotional. He said, "This one, I don't know if I know him," meaning Jay.
Yeah,
he's so calm and cool.
Well, I tell you what, I watched Jay's dad when guys are missing free throws and they go to him, and he was living every play. I mean, he was up and down. I'm like, man, you should not go to games right there because that'll age you doing that. Hey, let's get in the football side of things. Spring football just wrapped up. Let's start at the quarterback position. What'd you think?
Well, I thought he was pretty good, Darian Mensah, watching him during practice, right? And I thought he was very accurate, good arm. And I stood next to him a couple of times and wanted to see how big he is.
He's a big guy.
He is, yes. And he was connecting with Tony, and about halfway through spring football, then he really started to connect with Barcade. Then Saturday, we had the scrimmage.
Right.
And, the first part of the scrimmage was just fairly typical, right? Very vanilla. And then it was almost as if Mensah and Shannon Dawson said, okay, let's leave them all with something now.
Yeah.
And boom, boom. He starts throwing the ball to Upshaw and this one and that one. He throws a touchdown to Upshaw down the sideline. Then he threw a touchdown to the kid from West Virginia.
Right.
Up, no one's going to catch it. It was up at the crossbar of the goalpost, which was perfect. And then he had a Barcade, and he started dealing the Barcade all over the place. And I thought, Barcade's the side that he's going to show off his stuff also. You can't cover him. He's like the guy from the Rams.
Yeah.
Can't cover him. And some guys know how to run to daylight and get open, and that's Barcade.
And then you're going to add Malachi coming back for the regular season and Moore. Are you high on Moore?
Yeah, they got dinged up in the scrimmage.
He did. I saw he was out early.
I think the top three would be Moore, Tony, and Barcade, and then they got this kid. I don't know if from Ohio State, from Ohio, not Ohio State, Paris, freshman 6'5".
Yeah, I saw.
And
that.
I thought, hey, can you guys have the twin towers in the red zone?
Yeah.
For one on the right side, one on the left side, and good luck defending. Just throw the ball up in the air. I did want to say, and I bragged about this a little bit, Malachi, who always comes up with something. And practice, I've mentioned this before, but I don't think I told you. And I think it was Mensah that threw it to him. It's a bomb. He takes off. It's just one of these days in spring football. And Malachi, the ball is overthrown. Malachi looks up at it, and I think any other guy could have said, it's spring football, let it go. He says, nah, I think I'm going to see if I can catch this. And just goes into another gear and then dives for the ball, catches it in the end zone, rolls over, pops up, and then spin spikes it as if to say, yeah, I'm happy that I did that.
Yeah.
Just to show everybody about what it takes to have a little pride.
It looks to me when we were out there that Malachi and Fletcher are kind of the two American Heritage Plantation guys are kind of the leaders of the pack for this coming back this season.
I would say Malachi leads by example with what I just said. Fletcher leads by example, but he's not afraid to challenge people verbally. And I'm pretty sure he challenged them verbally in the locker room this year during spring, with his message being last year is over. We can't rest on last year, and all you new guys that are here,
Yeah.
you're not going to win just because of the orange jersey. So
it's gonna be fun, Joe.
Yeah.
It looks loaded. Hey, man, I gotta let you go. I got Charles Davis, NFL Network analyst, going to join us, getting ready for this NFL draft. I really appreciate you coming and spending some time with us, bud. Thank
all right,
you,
Joe. See you around the
Good
neighborhood.
seeing you. I always see you walking, Joe. How many miles are you walking when I see you walking? You go 3?
I go 3. Trying to put a
Three's
little
a good number.
3.
That's-
It's 3.5 around our neighborhood.
Yeah, I see you, man.
Yeah.
I said sometimes I honk, sometimes I just leave you alone. Joe Z, voice of the Miami Hurricanes. We got to go to break. We'll be right back. Stations. CD, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Joe?
Man, I'm great. We got a lot of picks, so Thursday's fun now. Friday got a zillion picks, especially in the third round, and we are building through the draft, man. Going back to the fundamentals. By the way, what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far with what the you know Malik Willis as well as anybody. What he did off Green Bay, they said this is our guy for now and maybe for the future.
Yeah, and you know, it's understandable in today's climate. The sample size isn't huge, but we're often doing that with free agent quarterbacks. I think that his chances for success are better than ones we've seen in the past, and I'll dip into the not as recent past with some of this. Remember Charlie Whitehurst getting signed by Seattle?
I do.
Because they liked his preseason tape. I think he actually quarterbacked them to the playoffs, but that was the 7-9 team with beast mode, and they ended up beating New Orleans in the playoffs, et cetera. It was kind of a shocker. Remember 6-9, playing the Rams on Sunday Night Football to go to playoffs, but they didn't have sustained success with him, right? They drafted they signed Matt Flynn off of that monster game he played for Green Bay against Detroit at the end of the season. And he got there to Seattle and never took a snap because Russell Wilson beat him out in camp, the third-round pick. So when you're taking guys off of short samples, there's big gamble in there, but there's less of one here because the general manager and the head coach both have been around him and knew him. That's a big help.
Charles, I got to ask you, you know the Dolphins are picking 11th. What do you like? They have obviously needs everywhere. A lot of people are looking at that offensive line. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's so many different places they can go. And the offensive line stuff starts to rumble. I think we're looking at 3 with Arizona. What do they do? Because they can go offensive line, defensive line. Obviously, they're going to want to try and get out, Joe. They're going to want to try and dive down in the draft. I don't know how many people want to come up. It's not that kind of a draft, right? There are very few guys that people are going to say, I got to have that guy. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. But they are an offensive line guy. I'm hearing quietly Tennessee could be in the market for an offensive lineman, believe it or not. You know, the Giants at 5 is definitely 5 and 10. Offensive line is definitely in play for them. Cleveland for sure at 6. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
But there's also a scenario, Joe, that Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, doesn't go in the top 10. And if he's sitting there at 11, I don't know that you turn down a player that's in this draft is one of the top 5 players in the draft.
You like him that much? Because we have so many needs. The safety thing, unless you're getting somebody really, really special, it's hard. It's hard. It
is hard. I agree with you totally. Here's the thing, though. Malinois has been a right tackle. Some people think he's a guard. Monroe Freeling's a left tackle who's only played for a year and a half at Georgia and is still learning how to do this thing, right? Spencer Fano. People worried a little bit about arm length with him. He's been a right tackle. Are you going to project him at left? I think that ultimately he could be a center. Like, I think he's good enough to be a center. He's the easiest mover out of all these offensive linemen. I'm talking about the top-level guys. I don't think anyone's thinking – I'm not sure if people are thinking Caden Proctor from Alabama at 11, right? Or are we talking Caleb Lomu, Blake Miller? I think those guys are much more in the 20s. So this is where it's going to be very interesting because you got to be convinced that guy is going to be that person. Those are the tackles. Now, if you want to go the best guard, and I think is almost a surefire guy, I'd go with the kid out of Penn State, Ioane. I think that he is just going to be exceptional. I think he's going to be in the mold of a Quentin Nelson, a Booker who came out last year from Alabama. Wow. He's just a mauler, beat you up. You know, you have to decide if you really want to play football by the fourth quarter with him.
If Mansour Delane is there, and he is the best cover corner, if you think he is, do you have to grab him? Those guys are hard to find too.
They're hard to find. If he's there and that's their flavor, I think he's the top-rated corner on most people's boards. I do think that McCoy from Tennessee, and people know I went to Tennessee, so you can probably you will hear bias in what I'm saying. I don't believe that I am biased on this one, but I know that if, oh, well, he's a Tennessee guy, of course. But I can see why McCoy's not at the top. He didn't play last year. In fact, some people will view him with enough suspicion that he may end up lasting deeper in the draft than maybe his talent should. I think if McCoy had played all of last season, he'd be the top-rated guy. But Delane really played well. I thought he played better with LSU than he did with Virginia Tech. But he had an exceptional season. He would be a good one to go get right there at 11. That absolutely makes sense. Because after that, you're like McCoy, you're talking Chris Johnson, San Diego State, you're talking Colton Hood, Tennessee, you're talking Brandon Cisse, South Carolina. I think Delane would rank ahead of them.
We're also looking wide receiver. How do you like this wide receiver class in the first three rounds as far as that goes?
Deep group. I don't know that they are standing head and shoulders above people like we've had wide receiver groups in the past, if that makes any sense at all. We're going to have the major debate at 1 with Carnell Tate. We're hearing all this smoke about Jordan Tyson now really rising in the draft, and he's missed, 18 games over his college career at 3 different schools. You can just go right down through it. Plenty of really, really great really good ball players. Exceptional, got to have top level. Like, we're having debates already. Like, if that smoke's true about the Giants and Jordan Tyson, are they willing to do that at 5? Or are they going to try to nurse that through and take him at 10, what might feel a little bit better to them?
Yeah. That's an interesting one. Hey, quarterback situation here real quickly. You're about the only guy I haven't talked to about Ty Simpson. Everybody's all over the board about Ty Simpson at Alabama and his 1-year starter.
Yeah. I respect everyone's opinion about it. My opinion is that he's a second-round quarterback in this year's draft. Talent is there.
Yeah.
Raised in it, obviously. He and Garrett Nussmeier, both raised by quarterback coaching fathers, long-time deal. I think both of them took their first 3-step drop at the age of 3. I think both of them went on the board at 5. That was their show and tell project. At kindergarten, instead of bringing their cat in, they brought in a whiteboard and broke down cover 2. That's just what these kids are, right?
Yeah.
But he's not the biggest guy. He's not the most physical guy. He moves better than, he loves to tell, hey, I can move, and he can. Footwork is exceptional. The first part of his season was better than the second part for whatever reasons they can articulate. And Joe, he's 15 starts in his college career.
Yeah. Oof.
The numbers are pretty stark about guys who have started less than 20 games in college and have had extended success in the NFL. The number one guy, probably Cam Newton. Right. Cam Newton's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. After that, call me when you found that guy with less than 20 collegiate starts that you're like, oh, yeah, this guy was crazy good in the NFL. I haven't found him yet.
The other problem with this whole thing, too, there's not a fan base out there that's patient about a first-round pick not playing, which puts pressure on GMs.
Joe, if Ty Simpson gets taken in the first round, he's playing, okay, sooner rather than later. I can hear all the arguments coming right now. Mahomes sat, Carson Palmer sat, and I was like, yeah, you can tick them off. Keep going. Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. Because everyone will end up playing. Like, the deepest you get into the season was what? Eli Manning with Kurt Warner, game 10? I still remember Dave Caldwell when he was a GM of Jacksonville when they had Chad Henne was their quarterback and they took Blake Bortles, and he was pretty much forceful. He's got a red shirt. We've got a quarterback. Week 3, our new starting quarterback, Blake Bortles. Look, if you take a kid in the first round, folks, he's going to play.
Yeah.
And I think for Ty Simpson, the best thing in the world for him, not in his pocketbook because first-round money's better, but for career development would be if the Cardinals were able to hold in there and take him at 34.
Yeah, early second round. Yeah.
Yep, take him in early. It's amazing how just saying he's a second-round quarterback reduces the pressure.
Oh, I agree, man. If you're a number 1 in NFL City, it's like, congratulations, you get the big signing bonus, but, oh, by the way, you better be good. And we don't have a lot of patience. You better be good real fast at about any position. So I agree. Hey, Carson Beck, real quickly, too. Is he? I was watching an NFL Network show the other night, and one of the guys is going, no, he's moving up, man. He's impressive. He's going to go in the second round. He might get the end of the first. Now, everybody kind of looked at him. What's your take on Carson Beck and where he is right now?
Yeah, I don't see him going before the second, and I feel it much more likely the third. And people have mixed feelings about him, but if you look at his body of work at 2 big-time programs that won titles, that he was around, there's a lot of good in there. I think sometimes these guys get hit way too hard on certain things. I think much more is going to be interesting to see, does his personality mesh with the people who are coaching him?
Yeah.
Because that broke again the other day where an offense coordinator was like everything about him. Did not like the personality. I don't want him.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that happens, right? I have a lot of people I walk in the door at night and my wife goes, "Don't like your personality. Get out." So, I totally get that part. But he has put up a pretty good body of work.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we jump on him a little bit too much. But to me in this draft, it's 1 quarterback in the first round. I think it's 1 quarterback in the second in Simpson. And then after that, I think the frenzy begins in the 3rd round. Now, we'll see how that goes, because we always talk about jumping on quarterbacks early. But this feels like the Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder year, where we were wondering if Willis would go in the top 10 and would he go to Pittsburgh, and it became Pickett. And then we didn't get Willis and Ridder till the 3rd round.
Right. Oof. Hey, so the big winner for this, I know we're running out of time here. A lot of people think the O-line position, everybody kind of starting at guard, and some, as you said, will end up at guard, or some will play tackle. What are your thoughts on the O-line? That'll be the number one biggest amount of players taken in the first round?
I think that and edge rushers.
Okay.
I think we're gonna get a pretty good run of edge rushers, because I'm counting Arvell Reese as an edge rusher. Because you're not drafting him as high as he's going to go just to be an off-the-ball backer. And we may get some edge rushers that push up. We may get a guy at the bottom of the first round where you go, I thought he might go in the second. Does Cassius Howell push in? Does Malachi Lawrence push in? Zion Young? That sort of a deal when people go, I got to get my pass rusher now.
Yeah,
and they may very well do that. So that's what I'm kind of looking at.
Hey, Ruben Bain. A hot topic here the last week or so. Put up big numbers, can play first, second, and third down. We know about the short arms. We know about what happened has come out here in the last few weeks about the accident a few years ago.
Yeah, that's tragic.
Terrible story.
Tragic story, but everyone's who was involved in it has known about it since 2024. It seems like all the right things were done along the way. I don't know that we have any more other than, and I don't want this to be trite at all, Joe, there's a tragedy involved. A family lost someone. Ruben Bain was involved in that. But court system, all that, you're looking at it, not heard anything else about him that's a negative. Or I've heard nothing but positive about him as a person. So hate the fact there was loss of life. Here we go, moving forward. I'm not trying to put it to the side. I learned about it when everyone else did. I was on the exercise machine and saw it on the crawl on TV, like, what?
Yeah, me too. And I'm down here, and I know his mom and dad. I had no idea.
Right?
Yeah, no idea.
Knew. And he's a great kid. And all I'm going to say is this, Joe. It's the 2026 draft. It's not 25. It's not 23. It's not, hey, where would you take Bain in 19? Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay? There are other guys with longer arms that are in this draft. Are they better football players than Ruben Bain? I don't think so in the 2026
I don't either.
draft.
He can play.
Okay, so I'm taking him in this draft and figuring out ways to work, because I think he can rush inside as well. And over guards, as you know, Joe, will be less of an issue with the arm length.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for finding time, and have a good draft. Can't wait. This one's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. You take care of yourself.
All right,
okay?
you too, man. Charles Davis, NFL Network analyst. You can see Charles throughout NFL Network coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, starting Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we have that. We still have a couple minutes here, Woody, still before we have Dave Hyde join us here. Or are you good to go? Okay, I just want to make sure here. Did you say that privately to me, or did you say that? So
yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right.
You want me to announce it?
No. It's fine. I heard what you said.
Sorry.
I just wanted to. This one wasn't sure how we were rolling.
You're good. You're good.
Trying to say format.
You want me to send you hand signals? And
No. Don't do that. I'll screw those up.
It's the beauty of live.
I will screw those up. There's no question.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, man, this is going to be fun. Everybody's all over the board, and
Tomorrow's the day, man.
Finally,
yeah, we don't have to guess anymore.
Finally, going to be here, and
any more hit pieces you think pop up over the next 24 hours? Got to be one or two more to go, right?
I just think this, with the connection with the University of Miami, is going to be a fun one to watch. It really is, man. And it's such an exciting day. How about this one? Most of the guys that go in the first 3 rounds will all get $1 million signing bonuses just to start. Obviously, much more if you're the 11th pick in the draft. Let's just say you're a little different, because most of this money in the NFL is paid up front. A lot of it is to keep the base salary down and averages out against the salary cap and everything else that's way over my head that I, after all these years, still don't completely understand. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. Not to mention all the other guys. The Mendoza story is just fantastic. By the way, there's no better story than that. And this is going back to when he was at Indiana not too long ago, winning a national championship. He wins a Heisman. We call it the hat trick in college football. He's going to have a chance to be the first pick overall, is expected to be the first pick overall. And he was a 2-star coming out. Nobody wanted him. That's and all that class coming out. He was never mentioned when the season started. It was a guy in Oklahoma. It was a guy in Oregon. It was a guy in Texas. It was a guy in Clemson. It was everywhere. South Carolina, it was everywhere, but at Indiana. And it's a cool story, man.
It's a good story.
It's like,
I think Carson Beck's got a shot to go pretty early in this thing too.
Well, we'll see.
Starting to lean that way. Doesn't it feel like it? I can't remember a draft that's had this little quarterback.
It is amazing,
action, right?
Charles is always nice about guys and their personalities, but his it's not his play. We've seen how mature he is. It's, just some guys talk and you just feel like you don't relate to them, right? I wonder, it's, again, the coordinator's got to deal with it and deal with them. I hope.
Well, I think like Josie was right about, like, he's not for everyone, but he's, look, man, he's different. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think Carson Beck has like bad intentions or anything.
No,
like
I don't
that.
think
I don't
so.
think he's a difficult person.
I just think you kind of, I don't know, those guys get used to dealing with certain kind of guys at that position.
Hey, man, the other thing too is, like, I see all these guys are laying low right now, and why wouldn't they? Seems like everyone's just out to trash your stock at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
Like, no one's got anything nice to say about anyone.
Well, first of all, when he goes into meetings, he knows what's coming, because no matter, he got to hear the whole Georgia story over and over again. And those guys are telling him stuff up there. Hey, tell us about Carson Beck. And I'm guessing they're bad-mouthing him in Georgia. So he's saying great things about him in Miami, and I'm sure he had to deal with that other stuff. You're right, though, man. It is amazing. The higher you get drafted, the more critiqued, to put it nicely, you get. It's incredible. Hey, I'll tell you who else is going to join us is Mr. Sun Sentinel himself, Dave Hyde, will join us next. Stay with us.
Traffic on WQ.